I'll give myself the single and vamp for just a minute here because Restream works, but doesn't work that well. So now comes the part of the live stream where I say, "Hi, I'm Trevor, and welcome to Catching Up on Cinema." If you aren't familiar with the program, Catching Up on Cinema is a film analysis podcast wherein we introduce each other to films, expand our cinematic horizons, and in essence, catch up on our cinema. So it is that special time of the month where we do our very special Tales from the Shelf episode. And in joining me in this endeavor, I have my good buddy Brad from the Cinema Speak podcast, but we're also joined today by a very special guest in the form of Travis from the Cinephiles Digest podcast. Hello, Travis. How's it going?
Hello. Thanks for having me. It's an honor and a privilege to be here.
Yeah, thanks for joining us today. I'm really glad that Brad was able to put us together here. But before we get rolling with the show proper, I should probably give you a chance to introduce yourself and maybe say a little something about your show. Tell us a little bit about Cinephiles Digest.
Sure. Yeah, we've been going on for about 7-8 years now, I think. We started at the beginning of 2017. We used to do bi-weekly. We did take a hiatus around COVID sometime for about 6 months or so, but we've ramped it up and we're doing pretty much weekly episodes. The past 6 to 12 months or so, I'd say. We changed one of our hosts over time. We've been through a lot, but we're still kicking.
If you had to pick like a favorite episode or like maybe favorite genre of film that you guys tend to cover on your program, do you have anything like that? It seems like you guys are pretty varied in the types of films that you tend to cover.
Yeah, I mean, kind of similar to Brad's podcast, we do just mostly new releases, like a weekly film podcast.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun listening to your, what was it, best film of the century bracketing.
Oh yeah,
that was a really interesting process. A lot of interesting twists and turns and some very unexpected matchups. I had a lot of fun getting to the end of that episode.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Yeah,
I mean, my favorite episodes are probably the top 10 episodes, but that probably goes without saying.
Yeah, one of these days I need to do a list episode. As long as I've been podcasting, as long as I've been doing this show, I don't think we actually have. But Brad, I know you're a listman. You love your lists.
That's the only, I say it every year. That's the only reason I watch movies is to make a list. That's what it's all about, baby.
There's something so very satisfying. Yeah, there's something really satisfying about making a list. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
More than making a list, it's really fun to have a list that competes with someone else's list. Just like fight it out.
Yep. I like it.
Check out those top 10 episodes, by the way. But as tends to be the case here on our Tales from the Shelf monthly discussions, we tend to have a unifying theme that guides the discussion. So if you're not familiar with the format, essentially what we're going to be doing here is essentially show and tell, but with our movie collections. We all, I presume anyway, own quite a lot of movies. And today we're going to be talking about juicing our collections. The official title for this month's episode is Juiced, simply Juiced. And I think this concept, correct me if I'm wrong, Travis, this came from you, correct?
It did, yes.
Care to explain?
Sure. Yeah, thanks for letting me decide and indulge on this topic. But the way I would define this is they're essentially bargain bin purchases that you couldn't pass up because they were so cheap, but in reality, you have little to no intention of actually watching them.
Yep. This was a lot of fun to pick titles for because Brad and I have been doing this song and dance for quite a while, and we do have a lot of repeat titles that come up in discussion because they happen to fit very neatly into various categories of discussion. But this is a new one, and I have embarrassing movies that are probably worth talking about, but I probably don't care to talk about them. So this may as well be a good excuse to exhibit some of them.
Let's just say we should all be embarrassed by the end of this episode. That is what this is about. We need to be shamed, embarrassed. You have that? You bought that? Like this we need to like we should be sweating right now. I'm already sweating. I'm looking at, there's movies here I forgot I owned, and I'm like, it's embarrassing that I have this in my collection. This is going to be, I'm sweating. I'm already getting nervous.
Okay, well, yeah, I think we probably are going to be pretty embarrassed by the time we get to this, the end of this discussion. But here comes the fun part where I get to do my hosting duties here and say, hey, Travis, how about you lay down in the path of the oncoming bus and just, let it back right up on over you? Would you care to be the first person to share your juiced element of your collection? What is something,
Sure.
I guess, you're embarrassed to own?
I'll kick it off, but if I don't know if you guys have ever done this before, but have you ever gone over what you're working with as far as your collection goes, how big it is?
Ooh,
That's
no, I
too
don't think we've
personal
ever
for me.
done. I don't think we've ever done numbers. Brad's not ready to show his, I guess.
I can give you a ballpark figure, but
Please.
no, I mean,
I need to know what I'm up against, and I want to make sure that I'm, worthy of this podcast.
I'll just say we are in quadruple digits is all I'll say.
Oh, okay. Well,
we're over.
That's jump change.
No, I mean, I would expect that, but
okay, all right.
You can't give us anything closer.
I mean, I could give you an exact number. Maybe I'll off air. I'll off air because I do have the exact number on my app here, but
too personal.
Yeah, I don't have the benefit of technology. Brad has an app. I have not even like an actual Excel spreadsheet, just a Google sheet that's manually plugged in. It's in the quadruples. It's low quadruples probably for me.
Okay. Well, I did a rough count. If you guys will indulge me here,
go for it.
So I have about 1,000 Blu-rays total.
Nice.
50 of those have been retired to my closet because I upgraded them to 4K. And then about 60 of those are Criterion. I separate my Criterion, but I have not separated my Criterion by 4K and Blu-ray yet, just because I only have like maybe 5 4Ks of theirs. But as that collection grows, maybe I will separate the two. And of the 1,000, I have about 80 Kino Lorber titles that I have also separated out. I'm a sucker for their sales that they do every once in a while. Mm-hmm. Get a lot of obscure stuff for $5 to $10 that you'll most likely never watch. Maybe save that for another episode. And then have about 100 4Ks, and then I don't really collect DVDs, and I had a small collection back in the day and sold most of them before Blu-ray became a big thing because I knew it was coming. But I did actually buy probably about 200 or so DVDs from my brother when he moved back in the day, but he sold them to me for like 25 or 50 cents because he lacked space in his move, and just couldn't let him go to waste. And then I've bought some random things that are like not available anywhere else but DVD.
Damn.
And then there's, about 100 random box sets of franchises, TV shows, and other random crap.
Now, when you say random crap, are we talking like unfinished collections of TV shows and stuff, where it's like I have box like of Fringe or something,
like Planet Earth, Woodstock, Wild China? I mean, there's
just some random garbage.
100 greatest UFC fights, stuff like that.
Oh, I've got some of that shit.
Okay. I like it.
You've got Mr. WrestleMania, all of Shawn Michaels' WrestleMania appearances.
Well, I feel bad, Travis, since you gave exact numbers. I'm not going to give my full collection exact numbers. That's too personal. It's still too personal. But I will say, according to my Movies app, which if you guys don't have the Blu-ray.com app, well worth it.
Not a paid sponsor, by the way.
No, and I think it costs like $1 now. I downloaded it when it was free back in the day, and I'm grandfathered in, so that's nice.
Oh wow, that's one McDonald's iced coffee.
That's how Brad thinks. That's Brad math right there.
Yep. I'll tell you.
Actually, you're feuding with McDonald's right now, aren't
yeah,
you?
we're not. We're not talking about that right now. I'm still boycotting. According to the app, I have more Criterion than you, less Kino. I've got
Okay.
131 Criterion, 60 Kino, according to the app. So,
all right, we both have some work to do.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I'm probably just behind both of you in terms of volume. Although it sounds like I might have a little bit more DVD than both of you, especially Brad, because you generally don't do that.
No.
But yeah, it actually kind of sounds like we're kind of on the same level here. It's like this is exciting.
Yeah.
We got a real match here.
Well, Brad talks a big game, so I just wanted to see what I was up against.
We're pretty close. We're if I have to guess, based on your estimates there, your count or whatever, I think I'm slightly ahead, but not by much. Not by much.
Okay.
Yeah, Brad's playing coy.
Would love to see the full thing someday.
Like to get that zipper all the way down.
We'll see.
Okay. Well, that being said,
right.
Hey, Travis, let's get to some actual proper movie talk.
Yes.
What's the first title that you'd like to share today?
Now, this one I actually spoiled for Brad already. I thought it was the perfect example, just perfectly encapsulated what we're going for here. And it's actually on your little graphic screen, but we have The Gunman.
Oh, The Gunman.
Yes.
Starring Sean Penn, director of Taken, Pierre Morel.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I tried to do some research on how much I actually purchased these for and where, because that does play a factor in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I got this thing for $1.50 at Big Lots. I don't know if you guys are familiar
gosh.
with Big Lots, if that's a national chain.
I'm familiar with Big Lots, Brad.
I am as well. Yeah.
Okay. But at that price point, it was really hard to pass up, even though I knew it was garbage and would probably never watch it. It does have a pretty stacked cast. It's got Sean Penn, Javier Bardem, Ray Winstone, Mark Rylance, Idris Elba. They're all pretty much wasted, but they're in there. And I did actually, so a few of these I put on in the background, so I don't have like great things to say about them, but I can give a little bit. Did kind of seem like an excuse for Sean Penn to show off his hot bod at the age of 60 or so.
He is scarily jacked in that movie, by the way.
So you've seen it?
Yeah.
Seen it. I own it.
Let's go.
Yeah, in this and what is it? Gangster Squad. He is like crazily jacked. Like he's sinewy. It's spooky.
So I spoiled one of your picks then?
No, this actually I paid like more than $8 for this, so like, this is a bargain bin for me. I paid, man. So no, I just happen to own this.
And you had it handy. I love it.
Hey, I'm hosting a show, damn it. I came prepared. We're here to talk crap. I have it at the ready. Anyway.
Yeah, the gist of it seems like it's just a run-of-the-mill political action thriller, which is not my bag. I don't really care for movies like that, mainly because I feel like they just get bogged down in plot that I ultimately could give two shits about. We can cuss on this thing, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. I will say there was a pretty cool sniper kill near the beginning, and there was a pretty funny moment towards the end where Sean Penn punches like a 40-something-year-old woman. I won't spoil any more than that. But,
okay.
Yeah, overall, didn't really seem like a very good movie and ultimately forgettable. Probably will never put this thing back on. But I mean, it was $1.50, so here I am.
Yeah, The Gunman is nothing special. It is about $1.50. Like worth
it. At that price, though, you would be insane not to buy it. Like,
I know.
You just bringing it up now, you've like gotten your money's worth and then some.
I mean, honestly, you got like 2 minutes of material out of it on a podcast.
Yeah.
Like, there you go. It paid for itself.
Yeah. I remember seeing the trailer for The Gunman before it came out, and seeing that cast, and I thought this movie is going to be amazing. I was like so hyped, and then the reviews came out and they were absolute dog shit. And I still have never seen it, but I could not believe that the reviews were that bad based on the cast involved.
Yeah,
It's
I think
not-
its biggest sin is it's just not very fun.
That's the thing.
Like, at least
it's indistinct.
Taken is not a great movie, but at least there's fun to be had. I mean, some people inflate Taken. I'm not one of them, but I remember people losing their minds for that thing when it came out. But yeah, this one it's way too serious and just lacks fun.
Yeah, there's basically zero fun factor. It's fairly boilerplate as far as like espionage action thrillers go. It's self-serious, as you said, Travis. And weirdly enough, this was like a strange period for these kind of genre movies. Like I don't know what it was, like if there was some sort of deal going on with like casting agents or production studios or something, but we were just inundated with spy movies with stacked casts in the late 2000s and 2010s and stuff, where it's just like you look at things like Atomic Blonde and the Gunman and a lot of these kinds of movies, and even Haywire, the Steven Soderbergh movie. It's just like a laundry list of names that do fuck all in the movie. They're just there to pad out the poster or whatever, but for some reason there were just a lot of them. It was like a weird trend. It's just like all these big names that show up for like one scene and they do fuck all in the movie. Like only compliment I can pay to this one is what Travis said about the middle-aged woman being slugged in the face, like close-fisted slugged in the face.
That was pretty good.
and there's like a decent fist fight at the end of the movie involving, I think it's a bullfight is like the setting for the finale of the movie. Like that scrap at the end is kind of decent, but the rest of it's every other direct to video action movie you've ever seen, just with some familiar faces. But beyond that, there's really just nothing there, man.
I think one thing I forgot to mention that was kind of gross was the love interest of Sean Penn in this one. There's like a 20-year age gap, and it's just so obvious how not close in age they are.
Well,
like,
Sean
come
Penn,
on, dude.
Sean Penn has that like Charles Bronson like catcher's mitt fucking face going on. It's like he is not aged all that well. Oh shit! But Brad, have you seen The Gunman? I'm just kidding.
No, I need to, because when I saw that trailer, man, I was just like, I was hyped. It was like, this is gonna be movie of the year. How could it not be with that cast? And the cast, I think I'd say the cast, maybe not Sean Penn, but everyone else in the cast, their stock has gone up. But that movie has not gone up in stock. It has not been reappraised. But I'm gonna have to check out my local Big Lots, because I'd pay up to $5 probably for the Gunman. So at 150, that's a no-brainer.
This is just going to turn into a bidding episode. How much would we pay for these titles?
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a good
Brad,
bet.
that sounds like something you would do for Cinema Speak podcast.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Yeah, play high and low. Yeah. Yeah, I think this was before Mark Rylance won his Oscar, I think. Because I seem to recall him showing up and me being like,
Yeah.
I know who that is, but I don't know why I'm supposed to care.
I want to say it might have been the same year. It might have been later that year where Bridge of Spies came out.
I think you're right. It was around the same time. I just remember him showing up and having my dumb American reaction of being like, he talks like that? like that's his speaking voice? He's not doing a thing? That's just what he sounds like?
Yep.
Okay. Well, anyway, hey Brad, I think you're up. What is a movie that you have juiced your collection with?
Well,
hopefully you paid. Did you pay $1.50 or more? Actually, let's try to keep this going. If we can keep the price tags associated with these picks, that'd be really great.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything that cheap, unfortunately.
Neither do I.
I wish. I need to start going to Big Lots, I guess. But this one, I know it was a Black Friday purchase, because back when Best Buy used to have their Black Friday, where it was a big thing and you could go in person. Like, obviously now they don't even sell physical media, so it's not as big of a deal. But I would always look up like what the titles were going to be, and every year there'd be one movie that was mid to mid shit ish, like in that zone where it's like, oh, $9.99 on 4K. Oh, yeah, come on, I'm definitely getting that. And whatever year I bought this, actually, I did pull up the email from Best Buy. This was 2018. I don't have the price. I hope it was $9.99, not $14.99. I don't know, but I have Sicario: Day of the Soldado.
Ooh, with the slip.
Classic follow up.
Oh my
to
god.
Is there a slip
Sicario.
cover on that?
What's that?
Is there a slip cover on that?
Oh yeah, you better believe
Beautiful.
there's a slip cover right there. I mean, I don't have the price, but I know it was Black Friday, so it was either $9.99 or $14.99. And I said, this movie, I didn't love it. I thought it was pretty boring from what I remember seeing in theaters, but I was like, I love the first Sicario. So when I rewatch Sicario eventually, I am going to be compelled to also watch Day of the Soldado. So it makes sense to buy this 4K. Unfortunately, since then, I have watched Sicario and I have not revisited Sicario: Day of the Soldado. So this has sat unwatched since 2018. I would be curious to revisit it, but seeing as I've now had almost going on 7 years chance to watch it and I haven't, I definitely think it fits into the juicing category. So
Yeah, I got
A little
mine right
bit.
here.
whoa,
On
love it.
Blu-ray though.
movies.
Brad, I told myself I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna check that out because it looks like dog shit and it should not exist.
Yeah,
Like just its existence offends me, honestly, on a personal level. But I was like, I'm not getting the fucking 4K of that. Like, I will get that. I will shame my shelf with its presence, but I'm not putting it on the 4K shelf.
yeah.
Hey,
Now-
early 4K days though, $10.
I have
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of
Very
those.
tempting. Very
I
tempting.
do have a lot of $9.99 4Ks that are just there because they were that price at the right time.
Now, Trevor, when you bought that, so my understanding that was you had not seen it yet. You
Nope,
bought
blind
it.
bought it.
See, I feel like that's a little better because I had seen it and I bought it. So
Yeah, that's
I
a lot
knew-
worse, Brad.
Yeah,
That's a lot worse.
yeah.
I think you're being a little too harsh though. I mean, definitely a bump up in quality from the Gunman.
Oh,
But
well, I haven't
yeah.
seen the Gunman, so I can't say.
huge letdown, compared to the first one. Huge
I-
step down.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
But not a terrible movie. I think I gave it maybe like a 3 or a 3.5.
It's not terrible. It's just to me it represents a sequel that was made for all the wrong people for all the wrong reasons. Where it's like everything that the first movie is about and is meant to represent, this movie disregards all of that and is just pumping itself out there based on some people who watched it with the wrong mentality and got
Right.
all of the wrong messaging from it. It's like, oh sweet, Josh Brolin's got a gun in it. It's like he's a superhero. It's like, no, absolutely not. It's like
Now-
Benicio del Toro's he's a hero in that first movie. I want a whole movie about him. It's like, no, God, did you even watch the first movie? The
I think
answer is yes, but they didn't get the memo. Didn't
the
pay that
perfect
close attention.
the perfect example of what you're saying, Trevor, is the scene in Day of the Soldado, which I do agree is pretty cool, and it might be the reason. Exactly, when he's firing the gun like that.
The shot in the trailer that everybody knows who they are.
Love that.
As soon
That
as you
is-
put that in the trailer, everybody's like,
Woo!
"Shut up and take my money."
Yep.
I don't even know what this movie is, but Benicio del Toro just gatted the shit out of somebody on a sidewalk.
Yeah.
I don't know what this movie is, but I'm buying it. It
Yeah.
features a Walmart getting blown up in the beginning of the movie.
Yep.
Yeah, they knew it's a very manipulative movie, but you're absolutely right, Travis. It's not a travesty. Like, it's not an awful movie. It's a movie.
Yeah.
And it has good actors in it. It's just really thin, and I hate that it bears the same name and made a franchise out of something that really shouldn't be a franchise.
It is interesting that Taylor Sheridan also wrote this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he was kind of some connective tissue there, but I mean, I still haven't watched what is it, Yellowstone, so I can't comment on how Taylor Sheridan's doing
or
nowadays.
his
But
5 other TV series.
yeah,
I know.
Mobland, 1923, 1884, whatever.
Mayor of Kingstown, was
Mayor
that
of
him also?
that one. This guy, he's just
He's the definition of paycheck.
yeah.
My brother tipped me off to the fact that I haven't watched any of his shows. I've seen a handful of his movies, and actually, as a writer, kind of like him. Like these Hell or High Water is really, really good.
Yeah.
And I forget the one he
Oh,
did
yeah.
with Jeremy Renner early on. Was it Cold River? I think.
Oh, Wind River?
Wind River, excuse me. Yeah, I've heard that one's good as well. I've liked a lot of his stuff. Point is, I haven't seen any of his shows, but my brother sent me an article about him having some issues with Kevin Costner on Yellowstone. And then it goes layers deeper where it's like, not only did he have issues with Kevin Costner, he also inserted himself as an actor into the show, like as the new main character. And he's just like finding excuses to throw his shirt off and show off the guns. It's like, oh my God, this is some wild ego shit going on over there. I'm kind of interested now. I wasn't before, but now that I know where it ends up,
yeah,
kind of interested.
He's got his little empire. Why not make yourself a character?
He really does. Okay. Well, I suppose the pick is to me. So wow, we got some great picks so far, and actually, there's a lot of connective tissue here between all these.
Yeah,
titles,
Travis, we have to try and match one of Trevor's now since he's matched both of ours.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah,
if
I'm
we
used
can
to
keep it
playing
going.
off of Brad. So this one actually fits beautifully with all the other ones that came up. This is very organic because this was going to be the first thing I was going to share, and Brad already knows what this is. This has a price tag on it. Actually, before I show it off here, Travis, are you familiar with the University District in the Seattle area?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know a place called Owls?
No, but I did hear you bring it up on one of the episodes I listened to.
If you ever find yourself in the area, check it out. They have tons of stuff you would probably like. They got a huge vinyl collection, lots of retro video games. They do have Funkos. And tons of physical media of all formats. They have a Criterion cabinet, so they know that cinephiles are coming through there and perusing their wares. Most of it is secondhand, if not all of it. So it's basically a thrift store, but they cater to a very specific crowd. It's media people who like video game related stuff, vinyls, movies, things of that nature. Anyway,
sounds right up my alley, and thank you for not gatekeeping that information.
There's a lot of people who probably would, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So this actually, a lot of the titles I'll probably be talking about today came from Owls, and in fact, they do have a bargain bin. So this actually came from their bargain bin. So while it says $5.99, this was actually free because it was a 2-for-1. So.
Hey, however you want to spin it.
I'm trying to spare myself the embarrassment. So I have here Antoine Fuqua's Shooter.
Ooh.
This goes right hand in hand with the Gunman, and actually I didn't name it off the top of my head during that section of the episode here, but this is one of those espionage thrillers with a stacked cast kind of movies. Where it's like there's a lot of big names in this one. They do fuck all in it. It is kind of neat seeing Danny Glover be a bad guy. He's really good at it, but for a spell, he was kind of typecast as not a bad guy in a lot of things. But he's always been really good at it. Yeah, this movie features a lot of people getting shot in the head. From like the politics of it are kind of laughable, honestly, especially in retrospect. But this, I did not actually purchase this for the movie. I've seen it. Maybe twice. In general, I kind of like Antoine Fuqua, actually. Like, he makes some good movies, some not so good movies, but when it comes to like his action and his stunt work, he has a lot of enthusiasm at the very least. And, Training Day's fun. Really, I bought this because I wanted the case. I just want the case, man. Because I had a Liam Neeson movie called Run All Night that I got through a thrift store. I think it was a Half Price Books. and it had a non-standard Blu-ray case that was a little too tall, and I hated looking at it. It was this weird aberration on my shelf, and I was like, I can't look at that. I was like, so I need to find something dirt cheap that I can just throw the disc away and just cannibalize the box. So I bought 2 copies of Shooter. One of the discs went straight into the fucking garbage, and I cannibalized the box and replaced my Run All Night box with it. So I own Shooter just kind of because.
So that was your buy one get one. You bought 2 copies of Shooter.
I did.
Can I? So it was buy one get one. So you bought them both in one transaction, right?
Yeah.
So did you get like?
You tried to say it was free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I get that you bought him 2 for 1, but I almost wonder, was that worth it? You maybe should have left and come back and done it in 2 transactions, just like, you know, so it's a little like, did you get a weird look? Why is this guy buying 2 copies of Shooter?
Oh, I did. I explained it to him. No, okay. I mean, a lot of the employees there also have big movie collections, and I explained it to them. They're like, "Oh, okay." They probably thought I was batshit crazy, but they hit it pretty well.
My
copyright not my finest moment. But I mean, for what it's worth, movies not terrible. Like you could do worse. I would say this is better than The Gunman, but not by much.
That
it does
movie,
feature a lot of get shot in the face, though. That is kind of neat.
That movie, just a little bit of inside baseball here. So my dad, he's not a cinephile, not a big movie guy. He loves watching sitcoms, doesn't watch movies, but he watches movies on airplanes. That's pretty much it. He pretty much only watches movies on airplanes. And my list of movies that my dad has recommended to me is extremely small. And one of them is Shooter.
Yes.
Shooter's on there. Raising Helen with Kate Hudson. Very eclectic list, but Shooter is one that is.
Like, I don't know if I've heard of that.
You should check out Shooter.
That one's over my head. Like that's not in my ballpark.
Yeah. So
now, Trevor, I have to ask: do you own 3 copies of Time Cop?
I own 1 copy.
South Park reference.
No. That's something to aspire to. I'm saving it up.
That would be a good bit for sure.
Yeah, just every episode finding. Well, see, Travis, we do have recurring bits here on Tales from the Shelf. Goon is a movie that I find an excuse to bring up virtually every episode. I'm not going to be bringing it up today because
it's got to come up organically, right?
Yeah. You can't force the bit. Goon has to be organic. And Scott Adkins. Scott Adkins is the other recurring element.
That reminds me. I listened to that episode.
Which one?
Well, the one where you said that you have a Scott Adkins shelf, or you aspire to have one.
Yeah, Brad is very critical of that.
He's brought that up many times. That you need to narrow that down. He's very proud of his Scott Adkins shelf.
I think it was one of these from a month or 2 ago.
Yeah.
Hey, we all have our things, but
yeah.
That's
by the way, Santino
too far.
Santino comment: Shooter is a dad movie in quotation marks.
Oh, 100%. Big time. So is The Gunman.
Yeah,
I think every movie. Every movie is a dad. I think that's actually the key to the bargain bin. That's who's buying.
Yeah.
Is the dads of the world.
Hey, that's a good theme for you guys.
Yeah, dad movies. That's pretty good.
I haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
Given us lots of material.
Trevor, real quick, while we're on the Scott Adkins train, I do have a direct question for you from my buddy Charlie. He said, I have a question for Trevor. Since people send wedding invitations to celebrities or CEOs sometimes, are you going to send one to Scott Adkins?
Why not?
You never know.
I mean, I was gonna send one to Jennifer Garner for my fiance. Like she watches her Instagram feed and stuff, so it's like, why not?
Yeah.
So Jennifer Garner meets Scott Adkins.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's make it
you guys should work in pictures. It's like,
Love
hey, you're both part of the Marvel universe, kinda. You got to be Deadpool's stunt double. They didn't invite you back for that next Deadpool movie, but you did it, kind of.
Yeah, they got connections.
Yeah, connections, revolutions. Okay, so next pick Hey, Travis, I think
right.
you're up again. What you got for us, bud?
I have my next one here. We got Rob the Mob. You guys ever heard of this one?
No.
Now this is like poster child bargain bin pickup right here.
Holy shit.
Now this was
Wow.
$2. So again, really hard to pass up at that price point. Bought this one at FYE.
Ooh. $2
And,
at FY. Is it used?
Okay, so it was shrink wrapped, but there's a
Okay.
sticker on it that says used 100% guaranteed.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
That's a good price for FYE.
Yeah,
but
normally
it
they're
still
expensive.
has the sticker on it.
Oh wow, yeah.
I mean, I opened it from the bottom and slipped the disc out, and the disc looked brand new. So I think whoever owned it previously maybe took the shrink wrap off, but never watched it or
Yeah.
only got as far as taking the shrink wrap off. I have no idea. I've been there before where I'm opening something up and I'm like, actually, I'm not going to watch it right now.
It's just like, oh, I don't know why, but I feel real sad now. I don't feel like it anymore.
Now, I'm assuming you guys have never heard of this thing, right?
No,
Never.
educate us.
All right. It's starring Michael Pitt, Ray Romano, Andy Garcia. Directed by kind of a nobody. He also directed a movie called City Island, I believe, which I remember liking from back in the day. It's like one of those indie dramedies that came out. But yeah, this one, from the gist of it, it's basically about this couple who ends up stealing from the mafia, and then they get caught up in this pretty big scandal, and they start working with the FBI. And it seemed like this is another one I put on in the background, by the way. And seemed like a decent little gangster flick, but ultimately pretty middle of the road, not very memorable. Seems like it kind of plays out how you would expect, but couldn't pass it up for $2.
Especially at an FYE. When I think of them, I think of generally higher price tags, like unreasonably high, where it's like, I would totally
I had
buy
to dig deep for that one.
Yeah, yeah. Can we see the cover of that again? Because that was
Yeah,
really
please.
something.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
beautiful.
Ray Romano's face.
Yeah, that's
He does
some good
not
shit.
look happy in that photo. And everybody has that gross Photoshop sheen on them. They're all airbrushed in like the most hideous way. It's kind of an amazing cover. It reminds me of when I was younger and I used to go to bookstores with my friend and we would go to the fantasy section to just try to find the ugliest cover art we could find. Found some real classics, some real winners, but holy shit, that's pretty bad. Like, so you had it on the background. Are there any like highlights that you could discern, or is it just like 100% just a flat line of a film?
I mean, nothing too memorable from what I remember, what I saw. There's a little bit of directorial flair to it, but didn't really do a whole lot for me. It just
brother-in-law had a dolly for a day or something.
it does kind of play out how you would expect, and no real surprises. But I mean that cast, that price tag, that cover.
I mean, I actually sorted well, I didn't sort much of anything, but like of the stuff I was pulling off my shelf, I had things that were dirt cheap. Like that was kind of the number one reason why I was pulling things off my shelf today. But then I also had curiosity picks, where it's like things that I blind bought, and I remember distinctly why I bought it out of some strange form of curiosity, where it's like there was something stupid about this, or like somebody in this that I just wanted to like see a little bit more of the filmography or something. So I have a lot of those picks I'm probably not going to talk about today. But like when you see a cover like that, something clicks in you where it's like $2. Sure.
I mean, the majority of these, you're scanning your shelf and you just pass over it every time. There's just no thought,
I mean, you bought it on the off chance that someday you decide to complete all of Ray Romano's filmography.
Exactly.
Like just on the off chance, welcome to Mooseport. and every Ice Age, all of those,
Actually, I do have this weird fear obsession with things going out of print or becoming unavailable. And on the off chance that Rob the Mob becomes impossible to find or stream, I got it right here, baby.
Yeah, one of these boutique labels is going to reach out to you someday. It's like, hey, does anybody out there on the vastness of the internet, does anyone have a copy of Rob the Mob? Like, right here, dude.
Yeah.
I got
Brad, can you check eBay for me? See what these are selling for?
Well, I just checked Blu-ray.com, and it looks like they're still in print because you can get them on Amazon for $9.99. So,
hey, that's not $2 though.
used on Amazon, it's going for $3.95. So you still got a good deal.
Hey, it's 2025. You're not seeing anything under $2 these days.
True. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. With inflation, you probably still ended up paying more than you would now. But anyway.
Yeah. So to roll it back to what we talked about before we went live, like you're waiting on the Dane DeHaan stock to climb, and also the Rob the Mob Blu-ray stock.
Yeah.
We're gonna hold.
Resale value is gonna climb on this one. I got a good feeling. Shit. Okay. Hey, Brad, what's your next juiced addition to your collection?
Well, this next one, it's a good segue because I also got it at FYE. And Trevor, I've always wanted to bring this movie up to you because I know nothing about it. And if anybody's going to know anything about this movie, it'd be you. So I bought this movie. I believe it was $5 at FYE. I believe. I don't think it was used, though. I think it was brand new, $5. And it's an Arrow Blu-ray. And when I saw that, I said, I don't know what this movie is. I've never heard of it. But $5 for an Arrow title to put in with all my other Arrow titles, my Arrow section, it's a no-brainer. So I bought Rage of Honor.
Oh, Sho Kosugi.
There we go. There we go.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's a ninja movie.
It's
a fun one. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Directed by Gordon Hessler from the Golden Voyage of Sinbad fame.
That's a good one, by the way. Golden Voyage of Sinbad. So Ray Harryhausen, Brad. It's Ray Harryhausen.
How much do you want for this, Trevor? How much do you want for this? I'll sell it to you.
Have you watched it?
No, I've never watched it.
Well, watch it first.
Yeah, I might. I mean, is it good? Like, I truly, it was. I saw it, and $5 for an Arrow title. I didn't do any research on it. I think I did look up what it was going for on, the interwebs. And I think it was going for pretty cheap compared to most Arrow titles, but it wasn't going for $5 cheap. So I said, this has got to be some kind of a misprint or something. And I popped on it and really haven't thought of it since, but I'm glad you are familiar with it and familiar with its star.
It's nothing special. Like it's just a ninja movie with Sho Kosugi, and that's what he does. Like that's why you hire
artwork. Come on,
beautiful.
I do like that though.
Can you run that title back for us one more time?
Rage of Honor.
Rage of Honor.
Rage of Honor.
I've never heard of it.
Me either. And I've owned it for years. It's like, oh yeah, I have Rage of Honor. Oh yeah, this was
a random ninja movie.
But
was a
hey,
title for sure.
To your defense, if I saw an Arrow title for $5, I'd buy it probably no matter what.
Yeah, and you know what? I had a whole conniption back in like COVID era days where I bought some Arrow titles and they didn't come in their blue case, or they came in blue cases, not their clear. And I had a freak out and I had to buy some Arrow cases. But what I could have done is I should have just, taken the Rage of Honor case and just thrown the disc into a junk drawer. That's what I could have done if I got real desperate.
Yeah, you could have shootered it.
Yeah.
Could have done what I did with shooter.
Yeah, I could have pulled the shooter. But yeah, I mean, I might check it out someday. We'll see. But yeah, I'm curious what this is going for now. That's a good question.
Check the appreciation value of it.
This whole episode has given me that bit on The Office vibes where he's like, Reddit, I own it. But no, I have not read it.
That's good. That is good. does look like this might be out of print.
Ooh.
Hey,
You might have
the
yourself
stock
a
just
winner
went
there.
up.
Yeah.
This might be a good investment here.
All right. Well, I'm gonna take the lead here and introduce. I'm gonna cheat. There's no cheating on this program, by the way, Travis. It's just like code for sharing more than one thing at a time.
Okay.
So I don't have a whole lot to say about any of these movies, really. So I figured I'd cover them all, and they're all dad movies, as far as I can tell. Again, that seems to be the sub theme of today's discussion. And all three of these also came from that same store, Owls on the Ave, and all three of them came from the bargain bin. So these were $5 or less. Pretty good. Like not $1.50 good, but pretty good. Okay, so I have here. It says $4.99. The Standoff at Sparrow Creek.
With the slip.
Old Henry.
With the slip.
And one without a slip. The Man Who Killed Hitler, and then the Bigfoot.
Hey, these are all worthy of $5 purchases.
I would agree with that. I don't think any of these movies are terrible by any means. Old Henry, in particular, is a fine little low-budget Western film. But really, I kind of grabbed them all for very specific reasons. It wasn't just the price tag. I actually did have some legitimate interest in these movies. Standoff at Sparrow Creek, just the premise sounded. I mean, it sounded like a stage play, but it sounded like one that I kind of wanted to see. Like, I decided if the acting was there, and if the writing was there, there was a chance this could be a good movie. And I do think it's actually pretty good. What's the fella's name that I like that was in this one? It's like he has like 3 names. James Badge Dale. I like him. I will watch things with him in it. Old Henry. I bought this because Travis, I don't know if you're aware of this. Brad does know this, but I have a thing when it comes to people who don't do people who are not known for doing action. Like, say for instance, somebody cast John Lovitz in an action thriller. That would be like a dream project for me. I want to see John Lovitz throw hands. like same with those. Like anytime Kevin James does an action movie, as bad as those movies tend to be, it's like I still want to see Kevin James do cartwheels and round kicks on people. Like, here comes the boom. I want to see that. I have seen that.
Now, Trevor, I don't know you super well, but these don't seem like sore thumbs in your collection.
They are not. These are bargain bin movies, though. These are not good movies for the most part.
If you guys
except
keep
for
this up, I'm definitely going to have the most embarrassing sack.
I'll try to look for something truly embarrassing in my pile here.
Trevor's collection is immaculate. It is pristine.
See, Travis, you need to understand. I have a talent for polishing turds. Like, these are not like Standoff at Sparrow Creek is a pretty good movie. The other two, these are okay.
Yeah,
like, Old Henry's pretty good. This one,
I would rather have those in my collection than half the stack that I'm looking at here. Price being a factor or not.
I'll be honest. I did not expect something at the level of Rob the Mob tonight. I didn't know we were going that low.
I mean, I should have known that, being as you were the one who picked the theme. It's like, oh shit, we got a ringer in here.
Yeah,
it's like
the Gunman. Okay, yeah,
I've got our collections might be comparable.
Yeah,
but the crapitude, the crap factor, this guy's on another level.
That might be my lowest point, but we'll see.
might be.
Tried it out too early.
But hey, for the record, I'll take Rob the Mob over the Gunman any day.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at that, just because of how plain the Gunman is. Like, if Rob the Mob is like bad in any remarkable way, then already it's won. Like, honestly. But yeah, Old Henry, I just wanted to see Tim Blake Nelson do action, and I got to see that. And it's not that great of a movie by any means. Also, I don't know what the fuck happened in Stephen Dorff's life, but Canadian cowboy. That's what he does now. That's what he does. He's a Canadian who plays cowboys. That's all he does anymore. He got really into MMA, and now he's the Canadian cowboy. And his career has done just fine as exactly that. And yeah, the man who killed Hitler and then the Bigfoot. With a title like that, you have my interest. With Sam Elliott, again, you have my interest. It has like exactly one great scene of drama, and then the rest of it, just the budget and the self seriousness of it weighs it down quite a lot. It is like very low budget, but it does have like one really excellently well acted scene in it. But beyond that, it's not the sum of its parts. But yeah, all three of those were sub $5 pickups.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
all good value. I've only seen Standoff at Sparrow Creek, but I would pop on those for $5.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. If I'm in the right mood, I'm popping every time on those.
Buy. Yeah, that's a buy.
Man, owls would be a really dangerous spot for you then, Travis. Like they have a vast bargain bin there, and they have like legitimate good stuff there too. So
you may have just opened Pandora's box.
Yeah,
for
seriously.
Yeah.
Field trip time.
My wife already hates you.
Sorry, Travis's wife. Okay, Travis.
All right.
What is your next juiced pick? I'm guessing it's going to be something bad.
Kind of an ironic title for this, but we have The High Note.
Oh my god!
The fuck am I looking at?
Yes, with a slip.
With the slip.
Wow, premium.
Just waiting on this stock to go up.
Yeah.
But now I bought this one for $4.45 on Amazon shortly after it was released, and so I think it being like a new, somewhat new release played a factor.
Yeah.
I was thinking, newer movie under $5. When is it ever going to be this cheap again? Probably never. And my wife might be into this thing, so I mean, it's a classic juice pick.
Yeah. I mean, that one's got a respectable cast, at least, in it.
It does, yep.
Yeah.
It's got Dakota Johnson, Calvin Harrison Jr., and Ice Cube, Bill Pullman. Now, this is another one I put on in the background. I did my homework for this.
Wow, yeah, I love it.
It's essentially about an aging pop star and her assistant who aspires to be a producer. And it's a very LA movie. There's some humor regarding how expensive everything is in LA. There's a moment where Dakota Johnson's character is charged $40 for a box of popsicles at a convenience store. But that's the kind of humor to expect from this type of thing, and it mostly doesn't work. Ice Cube is strictly in here for comedic relief. Every line from his mouth is an attempted humor, and most of them are misses. And Diplo makes a cameo in this, if you're familiar with him. He's like a very cringe music producer, purposefully. And I mean, I'd say ultimately it's pretty inoffensive. It's somewhat charming and crowd pleasing, but not really my type of movie. And there was a twist at the end that was kind of weird and felt a little too written.
Now I'm intrigued.
Yeah. You sold me now.
Yeah.
I got to know. What's the swerve at the end of the high note?
Interesting.
More of a reveal, but it was like, really, we're doing that now? Okay.
Can I make a prediction? I want to make my prediction on the twist, just based on what you described, is that I'm assuming Dakota Johnson is the assistant, right?
Yep.
My theory is the twist is that she is the pop star, and
it's not that far.
Ross is the assistant, and it was some sort of like undercover boss sort of thing.
That sounds like a better movie, but
okay.
No, you couldn't be further from what it actually is.
Can you hold up that cover again? Because it
looks
looks like she has a pretty aggressive bump it in her hair there.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's the word I would use. Yeah,
I am a noted Dakota head, so
yeah. In Brad's terms, she's great.
Brad
Brad thinks she's great.
Might have to check that out, actually.
Now, I
now.
will say, the deleted scene started playing after the credits and stuck around for a few. And the funniest bit they took out of the movie, I was shocked. Dakota Johnson's character goes to the dry cleaners to pick up this like metal top for her agent or whatever, and it's like the dry cleaner person is obviously like a gay character, and he like pulls it up and he's like, now don't forget this, and he's like, it was fun to wear, fun to clean.
That's pretty good. That's
Yeah,
pretty
I mean,
good.
that's a quick little something or other. That'll make you snicker.
It was good, yep. But I'm sad they cut that from the movie. Might have been a half-star bump just for that.
Did you put that in your letterbox?
No.
Shouldn't have cut that line.
But yeah, I will probably never watch that again. It was good for like a background watch, though, for sure.
Right now,
Most of these are.
I'm looking right now on Amazon used. No, it is used, but $2.08 used.
Oof.
High note.
The stock is
So,
down.
I might need to
I'm
hop on
sorry,
this.
Travis. You lost this one. Hold.
New, it's going for $7. So I don't
just gotta wait for that Dakota Johnson stock to keep rising.
Yeah,
Dane
yeah.
DeHaan, Dakota Johnson, these all these stars we're hitching our wagon to.
Mhm.
Okay.
I have a couple more up my sleeve like that, but we'll let Brad go now.
Yeah, you're really impressing me with these picks, Travis. I did not come prepared.
In a non-impressive way.
I did not know who I was fucking with. So, Brad, what is your next juiced pick? Does it cost more than $4.40 or whatever?
I don't know how much I paid for this. Now, this one is a little bit of a like it doesn't fit the category 100%, but it does fit it, and I think it is worth bringing up in this format, in this episode, because even though the movie is a movie that I would maybe buy at a certain price, and I didn't hate it, and it's a genre, it's a horror movie, so it's a genre I love. Even though I wasn't crazy about this movie, but the reason I bought this movie is because of the price and because of the case. I didn't buy this movie for the movie. I bought it for the case. Kind of a shooter situation, but a little different. We had, I don't know. Did you guys ever have Family Video near you? Was that a rental chain near you guys?
No.
Does not sound familiar.
Yeah,
So
I think that's a regional thing, bro.
Yep. Yeah, I think it was more of a Midwest kind of thing. We had Family Video. They survived after Blockbuster. They outlived Blockbuster, and I was still going to them, and I was still supporting them. And they had really great prices on rentals. Like you could get rentals way cheaper than you would be able to do on iTunes. So I quite like them. But they ended up closing shop. I bought a ton of shit, so much shit when they closed shop. I bought I have a giant Family Video shelf over here next to me. But anyway, this one I specifically bought because they didn't have the regular Blu-ray case. And I bought this simply because it came in the Family Video rental case. And I bought it simply because of the nostalgia.
You want a piece of history?
I bought a piece of history because I wanted this kind of case. And so I bought The Strangers Pray at Night. The Strangers Pray at Night, which it says this was $6.99 each. I know I didn't pay $7 for this because this was like the final day of them being open. This was like maybe $3, maybe even less. But it is a Blu-ray, so I was happy about that. But yeah, I was going my one last walk around the store. I was holding back tears, and I saw this and I said, you know what? When am I ever going to get a Family Video authentic Blu-ray rental case? I have to get it now. And it was a movie that I didn't own. I was like, oh, you know what? Whatever. I'll pop on this. And I have The Strangers Pray at Night. It is bigger than a regular Blu-ray case, so it is an absolute pain. It doesn't fit on the shelf.
A little bit of an eyesore, but
definitely an eyesore. It doesn't. In fact, I don't put it with the rest of the collection. This is off on its own because it's an eyesore. It doesn't fit, and in fact, I had trouble finding this when I actually it was like underneath a hat of mine. So it was like, shit, where's that case? Where's that stranger's case? Found it underneath a hat. But I don't regret for a second purchasing it. I'm so happy to have this piece of history in my collection. The disc, the movie itself, I don't care about, but the case is where it is at. So proud of it.
Yeah, that's your own little piece of history, and you have the family video shelves too, right?
Yes, yeah, I got the shelf. I got
The shelf wasn't enough.
The shelf wasn't enough.
Nope.
I remember when I bought that shelf because it's a big shelf. I think the employee was like shocked that somebody bought it.
Like, this thing for sale?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. And then there was I got him to throw in a sign that they would put on the shelf where it says favorites for $1 each. And I was like,
you know
that that? And
that thing was going in the trash.
Yeah, he was like, I was like, how much for that? And he was like, what doesn't whatever. And I was like, how about $1? And he's like, sure. I probably could have gotten it for
you did him
free,
a big favor.
Yeah.
Right? Like really, that was going to go in a dumpster somewhere, and somebody was going to have to pick that up and haul that.
Oh yeah.
And they were like,
hey,
we should pay you maybe.
Oh yeah.
Man's trash.
Yeah,
And
honestly.
my apartment is on the second floor, and this is a big shelf, and I took it out of the truck that I got it in. It's not even my truck. I had to borrow somebody's truck, and I was too embarrassed to like ask somebody to come over and say, "Hey, can you help me carry up this family video shelf up a flight of stairs?" So I pulled it up the stairs myself, and it was very difficult, but I got it in, and I got it in here, and so happy for it. I'm so happy I have it.
And here it will remain for as long as we can possibly stay in this place.
Yeah.
I went to my local Blockbuster when it was closing, and I actually refused to buy any of their movies for the exact opposite reason of you, Brad.
Because
the cases, I couldn't deal with them. So, but I did get a pretty sweet Inglourious Bastards poster from them. It's like already framed in kind of like a wood material.
Cool.
Okay.
I got that thing for like $15. I think it was 50% off or something. And
nice.
That is a prized possession. But, you know, in retrospect, I kind of wish I had a little piece of history like you do.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I bought a lot because I was going back, you know, like every day. I was seeing like just, you know, how low are these prices going to go? And there's a few things I remember not buying that I wish I had. Like they had a box, and I think it was a good sized box, and I think it was a cardboard box, and it said contains 75 movies or something, and the price was like $50 or $100 or something, but it was like they wouldn't tell you what movies were in it, and I was really like, oh, that is the ultimate mystery box. But it was just too much, and I was like, how many are going to be things that I already own? Mm-hmm. But not a day goes by where I don't regret buying that ultimate mystery box and wondering what could have been in there. That was a huge mistake on my part.
That's a shame that they didn't have like just the Strangers, because I know you and your one buddy, is it Bobby? Like you guys kind of have like a thing about that movie.
Yep. I have the first Strangers. I don't know if I had it at the time, but yeah, Pray at Night I wasn't overly crazy about, and I still haven't revisited it. But
they made one more of those, right?
Yeah, like and there's another one coming out. They're pumping.
It's supposed to be a trilogy.
Yeah.
Isn't it Rennie Harlan?
Yeah.
Rennie Harlan. Yeah. I know what teenage boys like, Rennie Harlan.
Yeah.
It's a direct quote from the man himself.
Yep.
I told my fiance that it's like, I'm gonna put on Deep Blue Sea, but you need to understand this very strange Finnish man made this movie, and direct quote, I know what teenage boys like. So when Saffron Burrows takes off her swimsuit and just wears her underwear for one scene, there's a reason why.
Yep. You got to view it through that lens.
Yeah, he went to work in China for a little bit. He was one of those guys, like like in the post MCU boom period, where it's like there were some directors that just said, "Fuck it, I'll go work in China for a while." But he's back now. He's back, baby.
Oh yeah.
Cutthroat Island 2, make it happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so I suppose the pick is to me, and I can't match your crap factor, Travis. I'm sorry. Like I can't match your ground game, so I'm gonna shift to stand up. Okay. I'm not dancing with you on the floor. I'm not playing that game. Keeping it on the feet. So I have here a curiosity pick. So this is, I don't remember how much I paid for this, but this was something where it's just like, I'm gonna take a chance on this because I'm curious about like a couple of people that are in it. I know it's going to be bad, and it is bad, but it's not like egregiously bad. Like it's not Rob the Mob bad, I'm guessing. But I have here, I have a DVD here because I think it's the only format that's available in. I have a DVD here of Jiujitsu.
Oh boy!
Yes.
Are either of you familiar with Jiujitsu? Not
Curiosity killed the cat.
Yeah, seriously, are either of you familiar with this film?
No, but that cover is worth a look.
Yeah.
It's something special, yeah.
Price alone.
Yeah, so we got Nicolas Cage wielding a katana, and Tony Jaa also, I think, gets a with Tony Jaa in the credit. So this is most certainly shot in Thailand. I don't think it's a Thai production, but it's most certainly shot there. It's from director Dimitri Logothetis. He did some kickboxer movies in the 2010s featuring this man, Alain Moussi, who is actually the lead actor of the film, by the way. He is the protagonist of the film, but they John Boyega'd him. If you get the reference, they made him as small as possible on the cover. But yeah, he was in a couple of the kickboxer movies from the 2010s from the same director, and he's largely why I wanted to check this out. His name is Alain Moussi. I think he's French, and he's a martial artist / actor. He's a terrible actor, but he's actually pretty decent. And Brad, he's worked with 87 North / 8711 a couple of times. I think he's one of the folks in Nobody in the bus fight, like aka the one good scene in that movie, basically the one exceptional scene in that whole movie. But I just wanted to see more of him, and he doesn't have a hugely extensive filmography, so this was just an excuse to see an exhibition of his skills in a really, really kind of shit sci-fi movie. That just the title is complete nonsense. In fact, I spent the entire movie being like, you are going to have jujitsu in your jujitsu film, yes? And they shocked me. They surprised me because they actually did it. But only in the last 5 minutes. Like the rest of the movie, there is no jujitsu. Except for the last 5 minutes, where the plot of this movie is they are trying to save the Earth from an alien invasion with jujitsu, by the way. It's basically, it's like a Predator situation, except for the Predator wants to do martial arts with people, and they defeat him with jujitsu at the end and save the galaxy.
I mean, I just want to cut in here quick, Trevor, and just say that I have been looking up all these movies on Letterboxd, and your pick right now, by
Did
far.
I win?
Yes, it is by far. The ratings on this movie on Letterboxd are, it says a 1.6 average. This is low.
You mean people don't want to see Frank Grillo in Thailand fighting aliens? I'm pretty sure he's done that in like half dozen different movies, honestly. That's old hat for him.
I mean, again, does not seem like a sore thumb in your collection.
See, that's the thing, is like these are all part of my collection. I don't think I would have something that I don't have something
very on brand.
Yeah, I have a penchant for polishing turds, so it's like even if you gave me something that was complete dog shit, I'd probably find a way to put a positive spin on it.
I mean,
but yeah, jujitsu. It's
once you get that Atkins shelf going, you got to get the Grillo one going too, right?
I actually don't own that many Frank Grillo movies.
Yet.
Frank Grillo, like Brad, correct me if I'm wrong, but the fans of Day of the Soldado are the Frank Grillo fans of the world. Am I? These demographics, there's a lot of crossover, correct?
I would think so. Yeah, I would think
I
so.
would think so. I
Yeah,
think Frank Grillo has a fan base, and I'm pretty sure it's Sicario Day of the Soldado fan. Yeah. I think like the only other movies I have with him are the Purge movies. He's in a couple of those. The Captain America movies. He's in a couple of those. And Wolf Warrior 2, which is a Chinese film where he plays an evil American, which is like, I think his name in the credits is Evil American Frank Grillo. But hey, it made $1 billion in China, so he gets to say I was in that. I got to be Evil American in Wolf Warrior 2. But anyway, that's enough about me and my jujitsu. Hey Travis, what's your next?
All right, I'm still sinking to the bottom with these picks.
We haven't hit the bottom yet.
No, we have The Fifth Wave. You ever heard of this one?
My
I know that one.
fiance just read the book, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I had no idea it was based on anything.
Yeah. Anyway.
Now I think I got this one for under $5. I couldn't figure out exactly where I got it, but I'm thinking it was tacked onto a huge Black Friday order. You know, when you're already spending over $100, what's another, $3 or $4?
Oh yeah.
And if you already have 19 in your cart, what's one more?
Yeah.
So, I mean, 20 feels so much better.
Yeah, I needed a nice round number.
Yeah,
so
you just need a nice round number.
I think that's the scenario of why I purchased this. Now, this is not one I put on in the background, and this is always one that I skip over. I've had this desire to watch through my whole collection starting at the front. This is like one of the first titles of my collection due to the name, and this title is what always gets me because I know it's going to be one of my first watches of that long project.
That's a tough pill to swallow. Yeah.
It's the gatekeeper.
Yeah,
it's over before it's begun.
That's a big hurdle.
Yeah.
I think 310 to Yuma starts the collection, and then this is number 2.
Okay.
And,
so you start out pretty good, and then.
And I did recently rewatch 310 to Yuma, but then I look at this one and I'm like, not right now. We're not going to do that.
Yeah.
I'd probably better off just putting it in the closet and pretending I don't own it. But yeah, like I said, haven't seen it, didn't put it on in the background, but I think it's essentially like an alien invasion, apocalyptic survival action drama. There's probably 8 genres that you could tack onto this thing. And I don't really know anything about it. I've heard or seen it's not supposed to be very good. I know it stars Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yeah, she did a lot of that crap.
I'm a fan of her, but I feel like she doesn't really do too much these days. She kind of seems like she kind of peaked in the 2010 era. But one thing I did want to point out about this movie, or the director, was so this guy's name is Jay Blakeson, which is kind of a bad sign. A little bit of a what is his name? McG? Yeah. A little bit of a McG situation here with the single letter first name. But I like 2 of his other movies quite a bit. Have you guys seen the Netflix original I Care a Lot with Rosamund Pike?
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah.
I like that one quite a bit. I mean, not very high expectations, but I thought it was pretty entertaining. And then from a while back, The Disappearance of Alice Creed.
It's
like a single location thriller. I forget who's in it exactly, but I remember really liking that one. Would be curious to rewatch it.
Yeah, I got your rating here. You love that movie.
That was probably early Letterbox days, though. So take that rating
with your new toy.
I gotta watch this movie. Holy shit!
Oh yeah,
wow.
It's like a kidnap single location type thing, but I remember really liking it.
He's kind of
decent
stuff
director,
is all over the board.
Yeah.
Sounds like a hired gun, maybe, where it's just like, whatever I got to do, I'll do it, and probably do an adequate job of it. Honestly, I bet you that Fifth Way movie is perfectly watchable. Like, I doubt it's like awful.
I don't know.
Well, it's based on a young adult novel, and there was we were inundated with those in the Hunger Games era of cinema, and they were just cranking those out. So it probably just slipped between the cracks of
Now,
all those.
is it like a series of books or just a single book?
I think it is a series. I don't think it's very long, but there's a couple of books, I think.
So this probably didn't make very much money, I'm guessing.
Probably not. It's probably right up there with, like, say, Divergent or something, where they didn't even finish that franchise, if memory serves. They attempted to, and then it just stopped.
Yeah.
What was
That
the
was
one, Brad,
embarrassing.
with what's his face? Anton Yelchin. It's like Invisible Electric Aliens or something. I forget what it was called.
Anton Yelchin. What?
Am I looking at it right now?
I'm not sure.
Anyway,
It's not ringing a bell.
That was a thing that happened.
This does have a commentary, though, with the director and Chloe Grace Moretz. That might be more interesting than the film itself.
I bet you're right. Like, it's director commentaries are always interesting. Like, even like sometimes, especially for not especially interesting movies, where it's like there's always something that goes into making these things. Like, it's very difficult to make a movie with pure apathy in your soul.
Are you
like, you have to be invested on some level.
Are you thinking of Odd Thomas?
No,
Oh.
I'm probably talking some.
You're not thinking of the Maze Runner movies, are you?
No, that's your business, man. You know all about the Maze Runner.
Love
movies.
the Maze Runner.
Yeah, you love the Maze Runner movies. I've never seen those, but I remember like seeing a trailer for it and be like, "What am I looking at here? What is this garbage?"
Yeah.
Honestly, while we're on the topic, I might just want to burn through one more of these real quick.
Go for it.
Do it.
Divergent collection.
Oh, collection. Incomplete collection.
$7 for this puppy. So looking at a per title average, not bad.
That's some good value right there.
I think Brad's seen at least one of these, correct? The first one, maybe?
Yeah, I remember really not liking it at all. But
I mean, just looking at the cast, again, I don't know very much about it. I know it's like a YA series. I know it's not well liked, but it does have Kate Winslet in it, which I'll watch just about anything with her. And it also has Shailene Woodley and Zoe Kravitz, which I could probably say the same thing about.
Not bad, not bad. Yeah, isn't Miles Teller? He's in there. I mean, it's not a bad cast.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot he was in there.
And isn't this the guy from
The Monkey
season 2? Oh yeah, and isn't he in White Lotus?
Oh, that's Theo.
I think so.
Oh, nice.
And the Gentleman series or whatever. I think. I don't even know that guy's name. I just know his face, and I'm like, with a face like that, he's gonna get roles. I don't know if he's any good. He's probably not, but he's got a face. He's got that face.
But yeah, this was, Oh, go ahead, Brad.
No, I was gonna say Ashley Judd's in there too.
Oh shit, that's a name I've not heard in a while.
Yeah.
But this was, purely cost associated purchase. I went into it knowing probably would never watch it, knowing that they're bad. But again, $7 for 3 movies. You never know. You never know.
I can't say I wouldn't do the same. I can't say I wouldn't do the same.
You kind of do, but you can trick yourself.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Well, hey, Brad, what's your next pick?
Oh boy, this is tough. I guess let's go. I don't know. Let's go with because these. Okay, so these next two I bought at the same time, and they're not bad movies. They're actually very beloved movies. Just not really my kind of movies. And I bought both of them thinking I was gonna, become a big fan of this franchise, I guess. And I haven't watched either of these discs and I know I bought these for very cheap, so I think they fit. I have Pitch Perfect 1 and 2, both Pitch Perfect movies here. Which listen, I love a lot of the ladies in this movie. I love, they're great. But was that a contributing factor? Maybe.
Maybe.
Because I have seen the first one and I think I liked it. I don't. It's not that I disliked it. But I have not revisited it with this disc, and I have not watched the second one. I did not continue buying them into the third, so I have the first 2 Pitch Perfect movies. Which, if you had told me that I own these movies before doing this, I would have questioned you. I would not have believed you. But going through my shelf, I was like, oh, wow, I have 2 Pitch Perfect movies. So
I didn't want to
there you go.
interrupt you, Brad, but when you first held it up, I haven't seen any of those movies, but I was like, aren't there 3 of those?
Yeah.
that was the first thing that came to mind.
Either the third one wasn't out at the time or it was too much. And I said, we're going to hold off on
much.
that one. We're going to
Too
hold off
much.
on that one. But yeah, I went all in. I bought the first 2. So, well, I didn't go all in, but somewhat
I
in.
heard they're not bad. I forget who's the gal that directed those, or at least one of them.
Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah,
yeah, the cocaine bear lady.
Yep. Yeah.
I've heard they're not bad.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like I've not seen them myself, but
I'll check them out. I might watch the sing-along editions just to get, just jump right into the deep end that way. But
Brad, you need to steep lower in your Blu-ray collection.
You need to come down to my level.
I mean, I thought when I was going through my collection, I was like, this is pretty low. But I mean, the problem is a lot of the lows that I have, I legitimately love. Like, we could, like, how about where is it? I got a good one that goes with your Divergent.
Oh,
crap.
go for it. Go for it.
Where are we at here? Hang on.
I'm sorry, Travis. We're just not on your level, man.
I love this movie though. This isn't going low. This is going high. I got Mortal Engines.
Oh, on 4K.
Mortal Engines. Everybody hates this thing.
I haven't seen it, but the trailer did intrigue me. I will say that.
Yeah. And when I say I love it, do I actually love it, or am I being a little facetious? Maybe there's a little bit of that. But
who's in this thing? Why do you love it? I need to figure this out.
Honestly, I don't even know anybody in this, but I just Hugo Weaving's in here. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he was the only one I noticed in the trailer.
Stephen Lang. Yeah, the
Okay.
main actress in here I don't know, but yeah, I just remember loving the opening with the 2 cities chasing each other, and I haven't brought it up in a while, but many times on my show I brought up the guy wearing the ivory button coat. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. And I was like, I have to own this on 4K just for the ivory button coat to pop.
Do you remember how much you got that one for?
That is a good question. It might have been full price, so it does not qualify. I don't know. Let's see. What Mortal Engines? Let me see if I have a receipt here. Review your purchases. Yeah, I bought this in the summertime, so this was not a Black Friday purchase. But it was at Best Buy. So yeah, this is not a juice. Like, this would be one that you guys would probably think would be a juice, but for me, this is
no. That's not a juice because I've heard you speak positively of it in the past. Like we've never like gone in depth talking about it, but I've heard you say multiple times that you happen to enjoy that movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If that's you being ironic or not, I have no idea because you're Brad. But whatever.
Yeah, I remember my buddy Matt. He got a 4K television, and he's like, "You got to bring over a 4K so we can do like a demo." And I said, "I got the movie right here for you, the button code and 4K." And this guy lived at the time. He lived across state lines, so this was not an easy trip. Not something we could do, in 10 minutes. Drive across state lines to go see this guy. And get there. He's got a 4K TV. He doesn't have a 4K player. I said,
Oh,
buddy, you
no.
need the player.
Oh man.
So
Well, he's your buddy. You get to hang out anyway.
it was yeah, that wasn't the only reason I made the
Yeah.
trip.
Like, okay, bye, Brad. Get out of here.
Storm out and piss.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
But
actually, I'll pause the conversation for just a second. Travis, do you have like a story about like your first 4K movie that you like used to benchmark your setup or anything,
4K.
or
No.
Blu-ray,
I
or
do.
DVD?
Honestly, not really. I don't really have a demo scenario, but I do recall the first
Rob the
three-
Mob.
I do remember the first 3 Blu-rays I purchased.
Okay, what were they?
It was Batman Begins, V for Vendetta, and American Psycho.
Nice.
All at once or spread
Yep.
out?
All part of my Amazon order. I think I bought my TV on Amazon, like my first, HD 1080p situation. It was actually a 3D TV. And then I had to buy some Blu-rays too. Might as well tack those onto the order, and those seemed like worthy picks. So yeah.
I would be happy with any of those. My first Blu-ray was my first DVD was Transformers the movie, the 1986 one, not the Michael Bay one from 2007. My first Blu-ray was Iron Man 2 because it just happened to be the movie at like the big like Hollywood blockbuster that just came out at the time. And my first 4K was The Revenant. That was how I christened my new 4K, and that was the right choice because that movie, just from a visual standpoint, like, is pretty incredible.
The Revenant is one of those movies that I absolutely loved in the theater, but I'm a little afraid to rewatch because I just know the at-home viewing experience is not going to match the first viewing in the theater.
Yeah.
I have a couple of those. Like Dunkirk, I haven't rewatched at home yet just because I'm a little afraid.
I caught that on your show on the Cinephiles Digest.
Oh, yeah.
The Dunkirk effect. I was like, yeah, I bet that's how that works, because I didn't actually see Dunkirk in the theater, but as soon as you said that, I was like, oh, yeah.
At the Pacific Science Center, it was life-changing.
Oh, no shit. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. No, I would have loved to have seen that in the theater. I actually really enjoyed it at home quite a lot.
It went down for me at home. I'll say that. Just
damn.
He word of warning.
You got to put an asterisk next to that star rating.
Yep.
Damn. I missed out.
I actually became a movie fan in high school, and part of the reason was I started getting Netflix DVDs, and I do remember the first 2 I got. Well, I think I had a 3-disc plan, but I can't remember the third one. But at least the 2 of the 3 that I got were Paul Haggis's Crash, because it was like the top-rated movie on there, and then Quiz Show.
Oh,
nice.
It's also, I feel like that's an underrated movie these days.
It's a good movie.
Yeah,
I like Quiz Show. Okay, so was the pick to me, Brad? Yeah, you did your Mortal Engines and your Pitch Perfect.
He did, yeah, Pitch Perfect.
You did Pitch Perfect and you tacked on Mortal Engines. Cheating bastard. Okay, so I'm gonna play off of your Pitch Perfect, and these are going to be movies. Again, sorry, I can't match the crapitude. I can't match the crap factor in the room. I'm going to boost things up, unfortunately, in terms of the quality of the films here. Not by much, though. Really not by much. But the reason why I have these, and the reason why I think they fit into the topic, is these are on the shelf out of obligation. These are not movies that I actually really want to have. They're just movies that I feel compelled to have because they're part of franchises. And I have that thing where it's like, I know that exists, and it's bugging me that's not on the shelf.
You're a little bit of a completionist.
Yeah, I have some completionist tendencies in a lot of areas, but
I think most collectors do.
I mean, it's a form of compulsion, I want to say, on some level. So yeah, I tend to curate my collection maybe a little more than some, but these are instances of these movies aren't movies I'm really happy to have, but they're there because I know why they're there, and it's just because.
Are you trying to say you won't have Rob the Mob on your shelf?
Well, see, it's like if I'm like collecting on a theme or something, like what Brad said, if I'm collecting all of Ray Romano's films or something, then I can justify that. It's
the
like,
Ray Romano shelf. Oh yeah,
yeah, it's like it's part of the Romano shelf. It's like it has to be there. But if I don't have like a justification, that's there's certain parts of my brain that will win that argument. Be like, you don't need that.
If you only had enough space and money for a Ray Romano shelf.
Yeah, I can have an Adkins shelf, but I can't also have a Romano shelf. You ask too much. Okay, so these 3 movies, I'm cheating again. 3 of them, but there's not much to say about any of them, so this will be quick. Promise. I think it's Fred Decker's Robocop 3 from Shout Factory.
Beautiful.
The New Mutants, $7.99 4K. Again from Owls. And Mortal Kombat, $11.99 4K, which is I think from 2021. I want to say. So this is the newest Mortal Kombat. There is a sequel due out soon. But yeah, all 3 of these movies are part of grander franchises. I have most of the Mortal Kombat media that exists, minus the cartoon and the CGI VHS tape from back in the day, from the 90s. I have the Mortal Kombat Legacy Blu-ray. I don't think I have the second one though. It was like a web series that there was a few good things in there, not all of it. Robocop 3 is just it's not the same. It's not on the same level as Robocop 1 or 2, especially 1, but it's there because it's part of a trilogy. It's the capper to the trilogy. And New Mutants, I do also have a fascination in busted films, like movies that have had troubled productions that kind of limped their way into theaters. So this I have because I have all the X-Men films, but also like as an additional justification is I heard this movie went through some shit to get to its release, and I always think it's fascinating to try to spot the seams, like see where things went wrong. Like I watched Thunderbolts in the theater just last night, and I caught myself looking at some of the framing and some of the shots, and I was like, was Olga Kurylenko in that shot and they digitally just erased her? Because there's a lot of negative space in that frame, and I'm curious if maybe Wyatt Russell had somebody seated next to him in that shot, and then they just took that person out of the movie or something. Yeah. I don't know, but stuff like that always fascinates me. And by the way, Santino asks, is Robocop 3 the ninja one? Yes, it is the ninja one. And the ninja does fuck all in the whole movie. He gets killed twice. No, thrice in that movie, I believe. Because I think he gets killed at the middle, and then there's 2 of them at the end, and then they kill each other. So that same guy gets killed 3 times in one movie. Good for him. The New Mutants was delayed for years, says Santino. Yep, that's what I heard. That's what I saw, and that is a crap movie. Like it's busted. It's a busted.
Yeah, $7.99 though, dude. That's a pretty good price. Like this Al's place. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, Al's does good work. They do good work, man. Travis, road trip, get out there.
Oh yeah, definitely on the list. I do have an embarrassing story about RoboCop to a degree.
Let's hear it.
So haven't seen the second or the third one, but do love the original. But I will say, I believe I did have the remake RoboCop. This was another perfect title for this show.
Yeah.
I believe I had not opened it, and I repurposed it as like a white elephant gift for Christmas. I bought a couple Blu-rays and then grabbed some of these titles from my shelf that I hadn't opened and bundled it up with like popcorn and candy and made a white elephant gift out of it. A little embarrassing.
That's embarrassing, man.
I love it. I love it.
I would open that and just feel like, is this what you think of me?
Were you hoping to pass it off as the original RoboCop and no one would notice? Was that
no? But it was bundled with other things, so kind of slipped it under the under the radar there. But honestly, the person who got the gift, I think they were mostly excited for the candy and popcorn, but they were like, "Oh, sweet gift!" Like stoked to check
Airheads?
things
Fuck
out.
yeah.
Oh,
I mean, these days, honestly, it'd probably be the kind of thing where they would open it and say, like, "I'm sorry, I don't actually have a Blu-ray player," or something like that.
Hey,
because I forget that.
with most of the offerings in the White Elephant, I would have been glad to get my own gift. just take that trash
Robocop,
right
you came back to me.
Yep.
It was meant to be.
I'll steal that.
Yeah, that Robocop remake's just no bueno. Like it really has nothing to add to the conversation, really. Like the one almost intriguing element of it is that they kind of tell his story in reverse ever so slightly, where it's like he starts out more human and then becomes less human and then goes back to being human. Aside from that one shot of him being deconstructed, it's like it's just not a whole lot there. And
more
Jackie
human
Earl
than
Haley,
human.
more human than human.
Classic Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
All right, am I up next?
Yeah. Do you want to do one more round?
Yeah,
sure.
I'm good for one more if you guys are.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
But yeah, Travis, you're up.
And then lightning round after that?
Yeah, speed round.
Speed round. Okay.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, the stack is still plentiful, so gonna have to be quick on these next ones. But
okay.
While we're on the 4K juicing topic, I have one for you here. We have Assassin's Creed.
Okay, let's go.
And $6 on this thing on Amazon. And
wow,
this is a good opportunity to bring this up. Now, before I started collecting 4K, I was like, all right, this is my chance to start over. Bangers only. No Rob the Mobs. None of that BS. We're starting out fresh. And this was the first title that made me cave.
Yeah.
$6.
$6, man, for
And
a 4K.
And it was at the time when you would rarely see 4Ks for less than 10. So when I saw this thing for 6, I'm like, okay, you got me, Amazon. There's a couple other blemishes, but for the most part, I've stayed true to that with my 4Ks. I would say I'm proud of like about 95% or more of them, but there's definitely a couple that could qualify here. But this is definitely the worst offender. And I haven't seen it though, for the record. So could be wrong. Could be a masterpiece actually. And I think the reason beyond the price point was I do like the director, some of his stuff, Justin Kurzel. His movies are at least always visually interesting. I remember seeing his movie Snowtown. I think it's maybe been renamed to the Snowtown Murders since then, but remember watching that back in the day and thought it was pretty gnarly, pretty dark, but also one I need to rewatch because did not have access to subtitles and the accents in that one are pretty thick. A little bit of the witch scenario there. But yeah, I really liked his movie The Order that came out last year, and I've heard Macbeth is beautiful, but maybe not a great movie. His version of Macbeth. I think that's also starring
Fassbender, right?
The Fassbender, yep.
Yeah.
And this is also one I tried to put on in the background, but it's like one of the worst types of movies you could put on in the background. There's lots of subtitles. It's an action movie, which, you kind of want to pay attention to the action that's going on. And then just kind of too much plot. So 3 strikes there for putting it on in the background. But yeah, I don't know. Have you guys seen this one? Is it worth giving my full attention to?
No, I mean, I have a general fascination with video game adaptations. I've not seen that one, but I could be wrong, but I think it's like one of those movies that's like quietly being relitigated Like, I
Oh,
think
here we
I,
go.
I think so. I could be wrong on that, but
It,
it's
it
like
all
one.
started when it dropped to $6. The stock started to rise.
Yeah.
That's when it was at its lowest.
Yeah, I seem to recall it was not well received when it came out, but I think it is one of those movies that like quietly like is being reappraised to some degree. So hey, you might have another winner on your hands, Travis. Like, give it time, baby.
Some people bought Apple and Microsoft stock at the right time. I bought Assassin's Creed for $6 on 4K.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Not bad.
It's gonna be your
not bad.
Instagram reel of like investment tips from Travis. Smash that like button. Yo, I got the inside trader tips for y'all.
I mean, right now on Amazon, new $17.95. So
Beautiful.
you got a steal.
Oh yeah.
Sell, baby, sell.
Now, does Al do trade-ins, or what are we looking at for trade-in value on this thing?
No, that's actually why I don't have as much crap as I would, is because I do have a tendency to, like, if something just irks me to a certain degree, I do take it back to them, or I do take it to them and get, store credit or something to, inevitably buy more crap with. But I was telling Brad, just like via text, Alex Cross was a movie where I was like, fuck, that would have been great for today's discussion, but I don't have it anymore because I watched it and I was like, I don't want that crap in my home. Like, I'm never going to watch that again. I watched it because I was curious to see if, like I said, I have a lot of curiosity picks and I do have a fascination with people who don't do action doing action. I wanted to see if Tyler Perry could do action. The answer is he can't. And Matthew Fox is he is mugging for the camera in that one. Like, he is doing some over the top crazy horse shit that's just not working. He's crazy jacked, but his performance is just like comical. Like he is playing like, I don't know, he feels like he's from like Adam West Batman or something, where it's like, you're supposed to be the spooky serial killer, really. Racer X. I'm supposed to be scared of Racer X. What the fuck, man?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I wish I had Alex Cross today, but I don't. Got in there anyway. So, hey, Brad, I think the pick is to you, sir. What is your next juiced pick?
Let me just, because I don't have much to say about either of these, but they're good examples. Let me go with both of these. So they're both Black Friday purchases, both cheap, both movies I saw in theaters and didn't care for, but thought, I might revisit them someday, so it might be worth purchasing. I have the remake of Pet Sematary,
Oh,
starring.
Hey, not half bad.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all right. I mean,
Yeah.
it's okay.
it looks okay. Like, it's shot decently.
Yeah, starring my favorite actor John Lithgow, and a movie that a lot of people like more than I did, but I wasn't crazy about. The Super Mario Brothers movie on 4K. Both Black Friday purchases. Now, this one, I am a big Stephen King fan, so like I can easily see myself watching this one. Like, no question there. It's just that I didn't really think the movie was that good, so I didn't like it.
You could argue that's better than the original in that case.
No, I
No?
could never. I love the original. I'm a huge
A
fan.
little bit of nostalgia at play.
Maybe a little bit, but I love the original. It rocks.
I remember the ending of the remake being pretty dark or messed up.
I don't remember it.
I don't either, actually, because I know I saw it. I know the ending of the original.
I remember
crystal
my co-host and I like high-fiving at the end of that thing. Like, that
Wow.
was not bad.
Okay.
I was
Well played.
bummed.
Well played.
It didn't feature like they obviously we couldn't do a Ramones song, so I was hoping they'd get like Green Day or some shit, and they didn't have that at the end credits song. So that was a bummer. But I mean, yeah, I like the original, and big Stephen King fan. This one, my justification with this was the price. Also, I don't know what I was thinking, but I thought, I have nieces, and maybe if they come over, they would want to watch this. Which they've never come over and just watched a movie at their uncle's house. So I don't know why that was even a potential, but just maybe. And I was like, oh, when they come out with another Mario Brothers movie, I'm gonna have to rewatch the first one. Of course, I have to, catch up on the lore. So I really was
God.
bending over backwards to justify this purchase because I was not. Some people thought the movie was pretty good. I didn't care for it. So I really had to
what's the
go
price
for
point
it.
on that one?
I don't remember. It was only in the last year or the year before Black Friday, so it might not have been sub $10. It might have been $14.99 to be totally honest.
You know what? I think I was maybe tempted with the same scenario and I passed. I want to say it was maybe either in between 10 and 15, maybe $12.99.
Yeah,
But that was
yep.
a little too rich for my blood for Mario Bros.
Yeah, I also thought it would probably look pretty good in 4K just because of how
Yep.
colorful it is. But yeah, it just it was not. I mean, I haven't watched either of these. I think that's another
4K.
question.
Yeah, Brad, you just call me Uncle 4K.
That's
Yeah.
Brad's new gamer tag right there, Uncle
Uncle
4K.
I like that. That's pretty good.
Fuck yeah.
I do like that. I think another element of juicing is if you haven't watched them, that's a big thing because
I'm really bad at this game, man.
But yeah, you're good at watching your shit, aren't you,
Yeah,
Trevor?
I actually watch all my shit.
Yeah, see, I don't, which is, because it's a lot of that crap. Like, when am I gonna watch that?
Speaking
Come
of
on.
which, we're due for another backlog boogie.
Oh
I think
yeah,
we've only done 2 of those, but I'm sure you and I both have like 50 movies or some
Big
shit that
time.
we haven't gotten to yet.
Fill me in. What's Backlog Boogie?
It's just one of these tales from the shelf, where the whole theme is we talk about the movies in our backlog that we haven't actually that we've bought but haven't watched yet.
I have a lot of those.
Yeah, I got that feeling. I do too. We all do.
I realized partway through that Trevor was literally listing off all the movies he hasn't watched, and I'm like, oh, that we would be here all day if that was what I was doing.
Yeah, I think that happened, and I think the second go around, I think that was the case where I was like,
Yeah.
and that's all, and Brad was like, what? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah,
I could go on forever, baby. Okay. So, Brad, you set me up. I'm gonna share some Black Friday picks, I guess. So I have here. I think all of these were $9.99 or cheaper. Pretty sure these were Amazon purchases, and that's why I got them. Is they were the right price, the right time. So I have here Joker. Actually, not a huge fan of the movie. I think it's shot beautifully, and Joaquin Phoenix does a lovely job in it. Movie overall, not my favorite thing in the world, but it was very, very cheap. I think it's been very, very cheap for a long time, probably because it sold really well or something. The Northman. I actually really like this movie quite a lot.
What are The Northman was my favorite movie of that year.
No, I really like this movie.
You did not understand how this game works.
Okay.
Just wait for my next few during the speed round.
All right. Well, here, let me pivot to something else then.
You need to at least take the Northman back. I'll give you the Joker, but
well, I was just sharing a Black Friday pickups.
Okay.
So right price kind of pickups. Juicing the collection. Although I did really, really like the Northman quite
Can't put a price on the Northman. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, I have here
$1 for that thing.
I have here in my hand something that was staring me in the face at Half Price Books for a couple of years. It was $5 or less, but it was, for some reason, it was just on the shelf and it always stood out. So this was kind of I'll take a chance on that. It's the right price. Coriolanus. Starring Ralph Fiennes, and Gerard Butler is also in there, directed by Ralph Fiennes. It's based on a Shakespeare play. I'm not super well versed in Shakespearean language, so a lot of it went over my head. A lot of the dialogue is spoken in such a fashion where it's like, I didn't quite get all that. But I was fascinated in this one just because Ralph Fiennes has a particular type of character that he seems to thrive in playing, and the fact that he directed himself in it. It seemed like a kind of a dream project for him. But yeah, this was like a bargain bin pick that was just randomly on the shelf, and I had seen it for years.
Mm-hmm.
And
back on track, Trevor. Love it.
Not at all. I know. I don't have. Well, I do have a lot of crap, but the way I picked them up is kind of weird. Where it's just like I paid full ass price.
He
for
pays
all
good
of
money for his
it.
crap.
I do pay a lot of money because a lot of these movies are like, I don't know, like just the right level of notoriety where it's like it's not Rob the Mob. It's not quite there.
We're gonna see at least one more Gerard Butler title before
Awesome.
the thing's over.
All right.
I mean, I was about to
Okay.
say he seems like the actor that would dominate this particular field.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about we head into the speed round or a lightning round? Doesn't really matter. Anybody have a preference on who goes first here?
I mean, I can take it away unless Travis, you want to keep it going in the same order. I don't have.
Well, how many more are we looking to do in the speed round?
The speed round is whatever you got left or whatever you have on hand. Just we're just gonna roll through them. I mean, feel free to comment on anything that anybody throws out there, but point is, we're not gonna like stop to like have a full ass discussion about it. So it's just to show off your wares, basically, all your runner ups.
Okay, I'll see how Brad does it, and then I'll
Okay.
follow.
All right, Brad, what is your speed round gonna look like?
So, these ones, a lot of these ones actually aren't like too bad, but there are a lot of crap that I just haven't watched or revisited or bought for the right price. I have the holiday movie, the Christmas/Hanukkah movie, The Night Before.
I own that.
Well, I bought it
Yeah,
for cheap.
I do too. Actually,
Yeah,
I don't.
well,
I have like 5 comedies in my entire collection, and Kyle got me the French Blu-ray of that.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
I mean, this one was a blind buy. I hadn't seen it, and I was like, "Oh, it's a Christmas movie. I'm gonna, a Christmas movie is an easy buy. I'm gonna watch it like every year." Is my thought. Like it'll become a new classic.
Yep.
And I watched this once, and I haven't touched it since. So,
I do think it's pretty good though. I thought it was pretty funny. I haven't. I did the same exact thing as you. Bought it for cheap. Watched it once. Was thinking it'd be like maybe a yearly tradition or bi-yearly, and haven't went back since. But I don't know. I don't mind owning that one.
yeah, and to be fair, I don't mind owning really any of these. These are all, these are all okay. But
I mind owning a couple of mine.
I've got. I mentioned to you guys, both you guys already. I got In the Heart of the Sea,
Ooh,
Ron Howard classic.
with the slip.
Yep, with the slip. And yeah, I just bought it cheap. I do love movies involving things around water, so I thought it's gonna be easy win for me. Still haven't watched it. I got Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, 4K.
Yikes.
I mean, I actually kind of like this.
I know why you bought this. Lily James.
I mean, that was definitely a factor. Definitely
Is she great,
a factor.
Brad? Is she great?
She's great. She's
Okay.
great. But I had fun with this one. I saw it at the drive-in, and I was like, this was a good time. Haven't had any desire to revisit it, and I haven't even finished the first one. I fell asleep watching the first one, getting ready for this one. But anyway, that's a story for another day. Travis, you actually mentioned this to me not long ago, and I was shocked to find out I own it, let alone on 4K. The Lego Batman movie.
Oh boy.
Which apparently I gave the same rating as I gave to Get Out on the same episode.
Instant classic.
Classic. But no, I did have fun with this in the theater, and this had to be a Black Friday purchase because I don't see why else I would have bought it. But I said, one for the nieces, of course, another one for the nieces.
They're your justification.
Yeah, exactly. How about the remake Ghost in the Shell?
Oh dear.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it too, but
it's a rip. I mean, it's clearly a rip off of Blade Runner, like the aesthetic, but
yeah,
I think visually it's awesome.
Yeah,
the story I could give or take, and even the action's not great, but like, and even the world itself is like, like low rent Blade Runner, but like, I don't know, like that creation scene at the beginning and some of the city stuff, I think it looks super cool.
Yeah,
it's a great bargain bin purchase.
Yeah, I saw it in theaters and kind of liked it. And yeah, this was another Black Friday classic. Again, I haven't watched
Oh,
this
yeah.
disc since I bought it, but of course, $9.99 Ghost in the Shell, no question. These two are kind of completion movies because I really don't like either of them, although there are moments that make it worth it. This is for Letty. I've got F8 and F9, Fate of the
Oh,
Furious, and F9, the Fast
my
Saga.
girl.
Yeah, I do like the
Here we go.
franchise, and this is there we go.
Yeah, here, I'll give you the single.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
She's been with us the whole time.
What a look. That
When-
first one.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
When I saw you were wearing that, I was like, oh, table that for later because I got a couple. Yeah, I not crazy about these ones, but it's the kind of thing where it's like, I'm gonna want to watch them all, the whole franchise through at some point. And I don't know if that's ever gonna happen again. So
Yeah, I have
That's
all of them from 5 onward.
yeah, yep,
Like,
yep.
that was
the ones-
8 and 9, right?
8
Yep.
and 9, yeah.
That's about where it started to lose me. I was a defender through and through of the franchise. It kind of peaked around 5, but I think it was 9 where I'm like, all right, I'm officially out on this thing. Haven't
Yeah.
seen X yet. And
Yeah. I
Yeah.
saw X and I don't own it, so that tells you how much I've
yep.
dropped off on that. But
I own it, but yeah, you're absolutely right. 8 is the turning point. That's where it starts to drop.
this one here, this is kind of it's actually a very acclaimed movie, but I feel like it's kind of more of an Oscar baity thing, and I'm never gonna watch this again. Let's get real. The Imitation Game. It was all right. It was pretty good, but I saw it in theaters. I'm never gonna watch this. This I don't even remember buying this. This had to be a Black Friday cheapo purchase because why else would I have bought the Imitation Game? I mean, Marshall Fine says it's the best movie of the year, the best film of the year, but
Brad, your titles have nothing on what's to come.
oh, I know. I bet.
You have no idea.
Cannot wait. I cannot wait. This one, I'll give you 2 guesses on why I bought this one. I've got Mary Queen of Scots.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
moving, and
We're moving.
I had to mention because a lot of these are just studio movies. I gotta mention the idea of juicing a boutique label, which you could argue that is the juicing that I am guilty of the most in terms of like these Vinegar Syndrome movies that go on sale and I buy them because they're cheap and I want the slipcover and then I never watch them. And in fact, that is probably where the most juicing is in my collection. So I could have grabbed any of the Vinegar Syndrome titles. This one, I grabbed a Vinegar Syndrome archive title. Literally, the only reason I bought it is because I wanted the custom the slip with the individual number. I have number 3,635 out of 5,000, and it's notable because it's got George Clooney, young George Clooney. Red Surf is the title of this one. Very early George Clooney movie. Do I have any interest in watching this? Really, not really. But it's
Now, this is not a bargain bin, right?
I believe I bought it on sale. I bought it.
Okay.
It's not a bargain bin, but I bought it in one of their sales.
Okay.
So bargain bin for Vinegar Syndrome.
Gotcha. So we're looking at what, 15, 20 bucks?
Yeah, it was probably 15, I would say. Probably maybe it was 20. It might have been 20.
That sounds
right. For that, that's a proper release right there. So
yeah. And then the last thing I have, which is it's a bit of a different type of juicing. I'm just curious if you guys would consider this juicing or not. The idea of I have a movie on multiple formats and keeping them in the collection on the shelves. So, for example, I own Silence of the Lambs on Blu-ray and I have it on 4K and I still have the Blu-ray in the shelf to, it's juicing the collection, making it seem bigger than it is, even though I own 2 copies of the same movie. I don't know if that would count as juicing, but I think there's a case to be made.
It's a different kind of juicing, but I have started to pull those from the shelf and put them in the closet.
I'm on my
You-
last shelf right now, and I have considered doing that as well. Because like, do I need both of these copies of Drive? I don't
Hey,
think
I have
so.
that steelbook.
Yeah,
I
it's
just
good. I
recently
had to
got the
buy it.
4K too. I have 3 of those, baby.
I don't have the 4K yet, but
Yeah,
Oh man.
one of the best
so
movies of the century. Drive.
yeah, I love it.
Oh yeah. Nice pull there.
Yeah. But and one more just as a little bit of a shout out to Trevor here. Forgot about this one. This was on sale. I bought it cheap because Trevor recommended it to me. And I
Oh.
watched one episode and I said, this ain't for me. This is not for me. I bought
Thanks,
the
Brett.
complete series or series 1 of Ultra Q.
Oh man.
Ultra Q. I mean, now maybe I need, because I think Trevor, you did say the first episode is a bad starting point or something.
I mean, it's not great.
Because yeah, I was hyped. It was like you said it's almost like an early version of the X-Files or something like that.
It's kind of X-Files, Twilight Zone, but
Yeah, and
1960s Japanese television.
I
So
I want to check it out because some of the creature effects on here look pretty cool. But that first episode I watched and it was not doing it for me. I will say that. But you said it featured the Kenny trope
yeah,
or something.
it does have the Kenny.
Yeah, which
It's the
was not a good starting point for the
small
series.
Japanese boy with short shorts who somehow is empowered with unlimited government access.
Yeah. So I might watch through this someday, but
I don't.
as of now, I bought a complete series and watched one episode. So definitely juiced my TV section a little bit with that one.
Now, Brad, if we could reverse it to Silence of the Lambs real quick, that's a dangerous game that you're playing because you could potentially not realize that you have something on 4K and grab the Blu-ray.
Yeah, it
And
is.
then that's just a waste of time.
Yeah, that hasn't happened to me, thankfully. I did
That
mention this was a while ago, but Trevor and we covered The Hurt Locker as
Mhm.
part of Movie Roulette, and I watched it on Plex with ads every 7 minutes, and then did not realize that I owned the Blu-ray. So
Oof.
that was extremely embarrassing, and
Yep.
I was very sweaty after realizing that. I haven't
I
had
have
the
a
format mix-up though.
I have a Stanley Kubrick Blu-ray collection that has the majority of his titles. And back when we did the Kubrick Premium for Suds and Cinema, I totally forgot that I was gifted The Shining 4K, and I actually watched my
Oof.
box set Blu-ray instead, and I still am kicking myself to this day.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
2 hours and 15 minutes I'll never get back.
I I like your thinking. I might need to clear out the crap. Like, don't even.
Hey, if you forgot you have the Hurt Locker on Blu-ray,
Yeah,
mistakes will happen.
yeah.
I mean, at
That's
least you got to watch the movie front to back without commercial interruptions.
That's
Brad had
true.
to endure every 7 minutes or
it
so
was
commercial.
bad. It was
It
bad,
was
man.
bad, Brad. That was borderline intolerable.
Yeah, I don't know how I missed owning the Hurt Locker. That was just. Ugh.
I mean, the
Still have
one
trouble
benefit
sleeping at
that
night.
came from that was that I got to screen capture some local plumbing commercials that were absolutely
true.
hilarious.
That's
I
true.
kept getting local ads from like the Seattle area, and they were laughably bad. So
Yeah.
I saw them like 30 times in one sitting. So I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna record this."
The one good thing to come out of that
It's the
snafu.
one good
So,
thing that came out of that whole exercise.
but that's it for me. That's all my juicing titles.
All right. I feel almost like I should go next, Travis, because it sounds like you're gonna knock our socks off.
I was just gonna say I might want to be the main event for this
I
one.
Yeah.
think you have to, because there's no way. There's no way. Like based on my track record so far, there's no way. So I'll just run through my stuff and try to justify my reasoning. A lot of these are curiosity pickups, where it's just like, sure, I'll grab that because there's someone in it. A lot of these are like, there's someone in this that I want to see more of, and unfortunately, this is the route that we have to go. where it's just like, this is all that I have available to me, so I have to watch these crap movies to get more face time with this particular talent. So I have Peter Berg's Mile 22.
Oh man,
This movie's shit. And it tried to be a franchise. I don't know if either of you guys knew that, but it does like sequel bait at the end. It's not gonna
Mile 23.
they really tried to like do a sequel bait thing where it's like, what are they gonna do next? It's like nothing, because this movie's dog shit, but it has Iko Uwais in it, and I think Ronda Rousey gets blown up with a grenade in it, which was kind of cool. But yeah, this movie's dog shit. I have The Octagon, starring Chuck Norris, and Lee Van Cleef, apparently. This is a somewhat early Chuck Norris movie. It's nothing special, really, other than
that cover art, though.
I know it's
Pretty
painted,
good.
and it's actually a pretty cool cover. It's infamous for an internet meme. It's Chuck Norris walking into a room and whispering narration over the scene, like, ninja, it has to be, but they don't exist anymore. Nobody knows but me. It's a very old internet meme. But anyway, this was actually a Scarecrow video pickup. They do sell DVDs and Blu-rays, and they have a whole wall of Criterion there. This was a long time ago. I got this when I was late in high school, I think. This was for a get together with friends after school. Like, we went to Scarecrow Video and just looked for the dumbest movies we could find at the bargain bin, and this was mine. I also picked up Crossed, I think is what it's called, but I can't find it. It's somewhere in my office, but I can't find it right now. That movie's dog shit too. This was a curiosity pick because I was scanning through an eBay store's wares, and this cover art just looked so incredibly bad that I had to know. I was like, I need to know what this is. So this was like, I knew nothing about this other than the cover art. This is Judge and Jury with David Keith.
Let's go.
Yeah, I know.
Now we're talking.
What the fuck am I looking at? Yeah, this movie is really not good. It's almost like a. Do you guys know the movie Shocker? It's a Wes Craven movie, I think.
Yep.
I think I have the DVD of that.
Yeah, I think it's part of the Scream Factory library. It kind of similar to that. It's like, it's post Nightmare on Elm Street. Let's have like a kooky serial killer kind of character and make it a little bit of an action movie when it really shouldn't be an action movie kind of movie. But yeah, this cover is exclusively why I bought it and why I still have it. Initial D, the Chinese live action adaptation of the anime. I've never actually watched this. This is part of the backlog from
a backlog here.
Yeah, this is like an old ass backlog.
Does it say the original Drift on it?
It does. It does say the original Drift, probably to get the attention of.
Is that in response to Tokyo Drift?
I think it is. I think it's an explicit attempt to cash in on that audience. But yeah, my friends in middle school and high school were really into the Initial D anime. I never watched it. I live off of the music from it. But yeah, Jay Cho is in this, the Taiwanese pop star who attempted to break into American acting.
Trevor, does the DVD show the same tagline that's on Letterboxd, which I love here? It says, "How fast is 1 second?" It's pretty good.
No, it doesn't, but that's incredible.
That's pretty good.
How fast is 1 second? No, unfortunately. Should get a poster of that.
Yeah.
At least most of these are interesting. Mine are mostly going to be embarrassing.
Well, I'm here for it, man. I'll hit us with the interesting. You can hit us with the bad. I have here something I picked up when I was visiting family in Hawaii. And I also haven't watched this, Brad. This is also a backlog.
Wow.
On DVD, Blood of the Samurai, the series.
Oh.
Hawaii's first ever martial arts action television series. And I was like, I love local television. Like the local news in Hawaii is delightful. And I'd never actually seen like a Hawaiian television series before. So I was very curious about this. I still kind of am. Like, I don't know if it's any good, but like it was promoted as like produced on the island with island actors. I was like, fuck yeah, I want to see that.
Yeah.
I want to see everybody speaking pigeon. Don't ever see that on TV. I have Welcome to Sudden Death, starring Michael Jai White. I have this because there's a couple of martial artist actors that I like in this. He has a fist fight with his wife in this movie, which is a little weird. Where it's like, wait, that's his wife in real life. I think it's Maurice Crump is the name of the stunt actor. He worked in Thailand for a while. He's in one of the scenes in this movie. This is kind of a spiritual sequel to the Van Damme movie, Sudden Death. I have curiosity pick, Brad. That you actually, I don't know if you ever got around to this one, but I think you were curious about it too. Marlowe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I
Yep.
actually own this and I did watch it. It's not terrible. It's not great. It's pretty straight down the middle. But yeah, this was like I like seeing Liam Neeson feebly punch people. Like that has some entertainment value to me.
Yep.
Another curiosity pick. Next of Kin, starring Patrick Swayze and also Liam Neeson. There's a connection there. This is about Appalachian folk from the holler doing battle with the mob. And on paper, I was so flabbergasted by the premise. I was like, so hang on, Liam Neeson is playing someone from the holler? And is Harry Dean Stanton in this? Because he really should be in this movie. It's kind of like Fire Down Below.
I love Appalachian movies, so I got to add that to the list.
I have here The Bodyguard, starring Sammo Hung. I picked this movie up because I didn't hear anything good about it, but Sammo Hung does a pedigree. If either of you know the wrestling move, he does a pedigree on someone, and it's Sammo Hung doing a pedigree on someone in the trailer, and I was like, sold. Sammo Hung doing pro wrestling moves on people. This movie's dog shit. Although it does have kind of an interesting premise where it's I think he has dementia. So, and by the end of the movie, he's like almost nonverbal, but he knows enough about himself to drop pedigrees on people, where he just like wanders into the wrong room full of gangsters and they try to fight him and he kills them all. And he doesn't even know why. He's just like, ah, but he has the skills still. Anyway, a movie that I actually had to do a solo review of for catching up on cinema was that phase of the show. This was also an Al's pickup. Big George Foreman.
Oh boy.
This is a little bit Christian, just a little bit, which
I
isn't
couldn't tell
necessarily
by the cover artwork.
It's Big George.
Is there a price tag on that one? Because that's fairly recent, right?
Yeah. This one was $15.99. I actually did spend money on this one.
Oh boy, richer than my blood for this stuff.
This was not actually terrible, but I'm a big boxing fan, and I was just curious to see what they did with this movie. And I got an episode of the podcast out of it. I wouldn't say it's a good episode of the podcast, but hey, I got it.
Love boxing movies.
It's
for like a sports genre movie. Boxing where it's at.
Yeah, no, it's one of my favorites. It's a subgenre that generally attracts me. So even when it's this and it has some parallel messaging in it, it's like, I'll give it a shot. And it really wasn't terrible, honestly. Like it could have been a lot worse. Anyway, I have more, but I think I'm just gonna stop there. Because the rest of it's just kind of the same shit where it's just like, I wanted to see such and such martial artist in such and such movie. It wasn't very good. so Travis, we can transition into you. Show us, let's take a tour of the crap factory. What's going on here?
All right. I did mention Gerard Butler. He's back again. Hunter Killer.
Oh
Mhm.
fuck!
This looks like a Trevor movie if I ever seen one.
I would totally watch that. Like that
Yeah.
would be something I would just put on one day.
Also
Not own,
starring,
not own. I wouldn't
also
actually own
starring
that.
Gary Oldman.
Mhm.
And have not seen it, but this was another like $4 Amazon purchase, so just tough to pass up.
That's a good price for that movie.
Sometimes you just get the itch and you want to
Yeah.
add a few things to the collection that you'll most likely never watch. Here's a recent purchase. Bought this mainly for the title. Brad knows why I bought this one. The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
Nice.
Saw this
nice.
thing and intrigued by the title alone. This was a $5 Amazon purchase. There's two reasons to watch this thing. Dolly's Partons, but other than that, probably not much else.
Yep.
Dolly's Partons. And yes, Levi, by the way, is in the chat here. He says, "Oh lordy, Gerard Butler is a wonderful actor that's in so much crap." And I think he's having fun at this stage of his career.
Yeah.
I think he's making conscious decisions to do the kind of movies he's doing, and seems like he's having a good time doing it. And every once in a while, he gets a decent one in there, like Plane, which has a decent reputation.
I mean, I got the itch in the last like few months to watch some Gerard Butler stuff after watching Den of Thieves. I was just ready to go.
Yeah.
And I saw Geostorm was on Netflix.
Yeah, Geostorm.
I put it on, and about 20 minutes of that movie cured my Gerard Butler fixation. I'm like, all right, I'm good. I'm that itch has been scratched. I'm done.
See, this is why I bought it. Your captain speaking said Best Little was actually seized in England during the video nasty days.
You're speaking Travis's language.
So when they pull that thing from the shelves, you guys are gonna have to come crawling to me to watch this.
It's an investment, damn it.
Yep.
All right. Next one, Don't Say a Word, which also, if you see, I think there's a little bit of French there on the front. I think it's a Canadian release.
I think you're right. Yeah.
And got this one for $3.97 at FYE or cheaper. There's $3.97 sticker on it, but I know I didn't pay more than that for this thing.
Yeah.
And haven't ever seen it, and strictly bought it because of the sticker price. But this is the movie where Brittany Murphy says, "I'll never tell," which
that's where that comes from.
I don't was that like parodied in Scary Movie or something, like one of them, because
that sounds right.
I remember that being like a big thing in my childhood, and I like kind of forgot where it came from, but I watched the trailer for it to prepare for this. That's all I had time to commit to this thing. And that came up. I'm like, oh my God, I totally forgot about that. And that's where it comes from. So piece of history right here, baby.
Yeah. Reason enough to buy it right there. Yep.
And this thing, not really sure what's going on here, but we have Sleep Dealer. This was another FYE purchase.
What the hell is that?
What?
I'm intrigued. It's like a dystopian sci-fi type thing. Give me kind of like Cube vibes. Have you guys ever seen that?
Yeah. He looks like Liev Schreiber in the Wolverine movie.
Could be good. Could be terrible.
Are those sideburns or is he wearing a helmet?
Oh no, he's wearing some sort of like device on his face.
He looks like somebody from Lazy Town, but with giant sideburns.
Yeah. That's intriguing just because it like looks like one of those movies that shouldn't exist. You know what I mean? Like I'm intrigued by that actually.
But I think it does have the potential to be good, but also looks like it could be terrible.
Yeah.
It's a real coin toss.
It looks like it should be screened alongside Chubby Rain or something.
All right, here's another one that Brad knows why I bought it. Going back to Dakota Johnson. We got the free pack.
Let's go. Wow.
Now these were the unrated editions, so there's one reason to pop. And I think I got it also includes the theatricals, so that's a bonus. But I think I got this for under $10 on eBay. So went out of my way to look for it.
Can you point me to that seller? I might be interested in.
Now I'm hoping I can convince the Suds and Cinema guys to do a premium on these one day.
Yeah.
Because I
Have
do have the
have you
digital
seen them?
copies. So I did see the first one in theaters with my wife, I think. Would have been weird going by myself. But you know, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I've steeped lower. All right, this one, maybe Trevor could help me out here a little bit. I know you've watched this one in the last 6 months or so. We have Copycat.
Copycat, yeah.
Classic 90s flick.
Yeah.
Best thing about this, there's a character who refers to women's panties as squirrel covers in it.
Yeah. Harry Connick Jr., I think. Yep.
Iconic.
Yeah. It's very cozy 90s psycho thriller.
It's okay. I mean, it's
not
pretty,
great.
Pretty run of the mill, obviously trying to cash in on the Silence of the Lambs hype, but you know, it's got Sigourney Weaver and Holly Hunter, and it gave us squirrel covers, so that was it's worth $5 right there.
You're justifying that purchase there. I'm sold.
This one, Leatherheads. George Clooney, I've only seen a couple of his movies, but not a great director. Seems like he's trying to do Coen Brothers, but he ends up just doing like the worst version of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is like Intolerable Cruelty level Coen's right here. But it's got a pretty decent cast, and I'm pretty big into football, so intrigued, but haven't actually watched it yet.
Yeah, he did was it The Boys in the Boat?
Yeah, just recently in the last year or two. I think the only other thing I've seen of his is Suburbicon, which I also was really disappointed by.
Mm.
Yeah,
Boys in the Boat was was that about you, Doug?
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. So maybe he has a thing for American sports history or something.
Now, I mentioned I had a 3D TV, so this was when I was trying to juice the 3D collection. Romeo and Juliet.
Wow, that might be the biggest juice title I've seen yet. That is wow. That is
you know, I have actually seen this. It's been forever, probably at least a decade, but not half bad. Actually, pretty clever and charming little take on Romeo and Juliet.
Okay.
Could do worse than this thing.
Okay. You don't have Sherlock Gnomes, do you?
I do not. Have not seen that one, but I did collect 3D Blu-rays there for a minute. When I still own my 3D Blu-ray TV. I haven't watched anything on it in years. It's sitting in the guest room right now, and it was one of the early iterations where you need the like watch batteries to power the glasses.
Yeah.
And it was always just a pain in the ass trying to deal with those things. And I swear they died in between every movie I tried to watch, and so it just became a hassle. But pretty cool little novelty thing for a while there. I don't know if you guys dipped into the 3D realm, but
no,
I never did.
No,
my computer monitor apparently has support for it, but I never had the glasses, so I never could do it.
Well, Brad, if you ever come visit, maybe we could cozy up in the guest room and pop something on.
Watch Romeo and Juliet. I'm down.
I'll get a fresh pack of batteries and we'll be good to go.
No, we're going to track down all the 50 Shades movies in 3D and we're going to watch them all together.
There we go.
Now we're talking. Keep your hands where I can see them. Alrighty. This is actually a recent pickup, $5. Got Mike Myers in The Cat in the
Hat. Now, that one, I will say that's a movie that I think is being reevaluated and reappraised.
Okay,
I've seen on Twitter, like on Instagram, and just all social media, people posting clips of that. I don't know if it's ironically, but
I think that's part of the reason why I bought it. Was we recently did the Austin Powers trilogy for a premium episode of Suds and Cinema, so Mike Myers on the brain, And this movie got brought up a couple times while talking about Austin Powers, and with just people I was talking to, and I don't know if it's nostalgia or something else, but they were like, you know what, it's actually pretty funny. And so I think even Kyle from Suds and Cinema is a fan of this, which is an oddity. So I don't know. It was worth the $5 to see what's going on here. I might have to report back on this one.
It's a great conversation piece. Like,
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't say it's good, but there's so much to say about it because it's.
So you have seen it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Brad, you too?
A long time ago, but yeah,
Okay.
I have seen it.
No,
Yeah,
I somehow escaped this one.
It's terrible, but there's a lot. You will experience a lot of thoughts and feelings as you're taking it in. It's a great podcast subject.
I've also heard it could your experience could be enhanced if you're under the influence of something.
that I could see. That I could see.
Oh yeah.
Isn't it from like the director? He's a production designer or something. He's like worked
Yeah.
with Tim Burton a lot as a production designer. It was, I think, maybe his first film.
Bo Welch.
Bo Welch. There you go.
His
Yeah,
one and only
that Mike
movie.
Myers makeup is terrifying. it's not pleasant to look at.
Yeah.
And I did hear a really funny story about somebody watching him eat spaghetti while still wearing that makeup. And apparently it was absolutely terrifying.
Nice.
Have a couple more here real quick.
Yeah.
50 Dead Men Walking. Main reason why I brought this one up is because I have owned this thing for probably 15 years. Like, it was one of the first Blu-rays I bought for whatever reason, probably because it was cheap, maybe $7.99. That was the bargain bin price back in the day. But it just kind of baffles me that I've owned it for so long and it's still in the shrink wrap.
Still.
Yeah.
50 Dead Men Walking. They got Sir Ben Kingsley's in there apparently. But he does a lot of crap. So.
I'm not sure exactly when this came out. I'm guessing like 2008, maybe 2007, but pretty sure I've owned the Blu-ray since about that time.
You should never open that. Like just hang on to it as a relic, like a reminder of this is where it all began.
Well, you might be intrigued of this, Travis. On Amazon, used copies of 50 Dead Men Walking going for $1.45.
Oh, damn.
So,
set me up, you bastard.
The value has not started to crawl back up yet. Not yet.
Well,
Hold
in the shrink wrap it remains.
Hold.
Been holding for almost 20 years on this one.
Continue holding. It's the long game.
All right, I did not save the best for last here. We have Spiral. I think this was a FYE bargain bin, probably sub $5. And I think the reason why I bought it was because one of the co-directors is the director of Hatchet 1 and maybe he directed all 3, or at least the first 2. Adam Green.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with those.
Yeah. So he co-directed this with I think it's Joel David Moore, the guy who's also in Grandma's Boy. That sit on my face.
I've seen Grandma's Boy, but I'm trying to remember who in Grandma's Boy you're referring to.
The one who dresses up like Neo from the Matrix.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. That guy.
He's in Avatar, right? Isn't he in Avatar?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep,
Classic.
that guy with the face. That guy with the unfortunate bone structure.
Wow.
Curious about this one, though. It's probably halfway decent.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Hatchet was okay for what it was. Like, I watched all those movies.
Yeah.
That looks to be a different brand of horror. It looks maybe perhaps more psychological.
I don't know.
We'll never know. It's still in the shrink wrap.
Do a double feature of that and Spiral from the Book of Saw. That'd be a good Spiral double feature right there.
Oh, yeah.
Is that absolutely terrible, Brad?
Oh,
or
yeah.
Travis, have you seen that one?
I have not.
Okay.
It is bad.
Okay. I saw a couple of clips of just some dialogue scenes, and I was like, really? That's the performance? Okay.
Although, hang on, I might be changing my tune because I feel like I did rewatch it not that long ago, and it was better than I remembered.
Or do we have another Saw in the works? Because I mean, we just got a new Final Destination. Is another
they're working
2000s
on
horror
it.
coming back?
They're working on. Oh no, it's the opposite. I initially I gave it a 2.5, and I bumped it down. So yeah, it is bad. Okay, it is bad.
It's that bad. Okay, figured I'd ask. But yeah, I guess that concludes the discussion for today. This was a fun one, long one, but fun one. And sorry, Travis, I'll try to work on juicing my collection with some more crap for next time.
I don't recommend it. I mean,
don't be like me.
I try and avoid it as much as possible. Just sometimes can't help myself.
Yeah, that's how it is. That's the collecting habit for you.
Yeah.
But thank you for joining us today, Travis.
Oh yeah,
This was
thanks
really
for
great
having
having
me.
an opportunity. Yeah,
Love
really great.
love a platform to talk physical media. So would love to be back sometime if you guys will have me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Just hit me up, man. But before we go, yo, Travis, you want to sign off and say, like, let our listeners and hopefully viewers know where they can find you and your whatever you've got going on online?
Yeah. So do a podcast called Cinephiles Digest. You can find that on most major podcast platforms. If you're, curious enough, I'm sure you can find us. And then I also do. I'm part of the Suds and Cinema family. I'll come out and say that. I do their premium episodes of theirs, which are behind a very low cost paywall if you're interested in that. But you can catch me on their show every once in a while, their main feed. And that's about it.
Well, thanks for that, man. Brad, how about you, bud? Want to say goodbye and let everybody know where they can find you and your awesome podcast?
Yeah. Thank you again. And it's the Cinema Speak podcast, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever you listen to shows. We're on Twitter at the Cinema Speak, Instagram, Cinema Speak Podcast, and on YouTube as Cinema Speak. And you can just find us on the web at cinemaspeak.libsyn.com.
All right, man. Well said. And as for myself, the show is Catching Up on Cinema. I am Trevor. I usually have co-host Kyle. He's kind of been out of commission with real life business for the past couple months, though. So you're kind of stuck with just me for the time being. But as I said, it's Catching Up on Cinema. We drop episodes weekly. You can find us on pretty much every podcasting platform you can imagine. We do live streams at least once a month. We try to shoot for 2. So we do Tales from the Shelf. And we also do Catching Up on Blu-ray. Travis, I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but basically Brad and I just look at the Blu-ray.com calendar from month to month and just skim through it and dog ear any titles that like stand out at us, like things that we might want to pick up or might be interested in seeing. It's something we try to do like live as often as we can, but more often than not, it ends up being a recorded after the fact kind of thing.
You guys probably don't need my help with that one, but if we're ever doing collection stuff, I'm in.
Okay. I'll put up the bat signal. But yeah, like, share it, subscribe, all that shit. I don't really care. We're a small time podcast, but this has been a lot of fun, guys. So thanks for listening, and we'll catch